Welcome to Rob and Tony's Cinematic Adventure. I'm Rob Wilson.
And I am Tony the Quano.
So, Tony, let's talk about a sequel to a movie we did last year.
Okay, we can do that.
This is our second James Cameron movie, isn't it? The first one being the original, being the first part of
this one,
this series. So yeah, let's just jump right into it and talk about some Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
Yes, or T2, or Judgment Day, or Terminator 2, however you'd like to say it.
Full title, though, is Terminator 2
T2, Judgment Day.
Judgment Day.
Yes. Yeah, it is our second Cameron movie, and the first one since Alien. Not Alien, since the Terminator.
Yeah, because Alien was a Ridley Scott movie. We haven't done
Ridley
Aliens
Scott,
yet.
And we will eventually do Aliens.
Yes.
With that James Cameron directed.
Yes.
But Alien is the movie that we kicked off this summer blockbuster series with this year.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
And I was just looking back. I think we had a nice collection of movies so far. Because then we went to, Saving Private Ryan and Ghost. We had our little Cage series and Con Air and Face Off.
And
then
Patriot.
We went with Mel Gibson.
Wedding
the Patriot.
Crashers, a couple
Wedding
Superman
Crashers.
movies.
We had 2 Superman movies. And now here we are with Terminator 2.
And, of course, we had Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. We had our family movie in there, too.
Yes. Thank you. This last week.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one that I really think about a lot as a true blockbuster.
Yes.
Big
Yes.
blockbuster. That's not to say the others weren't big blockbusters. Like Superman 2, if I was alive in 1980, or 81, I probably would think of it in that way. But I was not alive in 1981. But yeah, I was
you weren't.
Alive for this. And even at that point, I was only, 7 when this came out, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was a big gap between this and Terminator, which makes sense given the effects to make it possible.
Yes.
I mean, think about this, right? So James Cameron, right? So actually today, I think they just released the trailer for Avatar 3. And recently, he's been known just to take a long time between movies.
Yes.
Even that wasn't always really the case, because he had the abyss between this and the first Terminator.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention he also had Aliens.
Yep.
Then a few years after this, he had True Lies.
Mm-hmm.
And a few years after that, he had Titanic.
Yep.
And then it took a long time to get Avatar.
Yeah.
And then it took a long time to get Avatar 2.
Mm-hmm. But not as long to get Avatar 3 after Avatar 2.
How he uses technology.
Yeah. So this movie is an interesting one. I have a very special place in my heart for this movie. Because, I mean...
Is it the John Connor action figure? So we talked about during the Alien episode, there was the Hicks action figure and the Terminator action figures.
Yes.
Marketed at kids that were 10 years younger than
that's part of it. I did have a Terminator action figure. I had the one of the Terminator after half his face gets ripped off, and he had a detachable arm. He could put a gun arm on it. Totally not like he is in the movie. And he had a knife that could pop out of his fist, between his fingers, like Wolverine claw.
Like Wolverine's adamantium claws.
But it was just one of them. It's just one claw.
So he just put it up. It's like, fuck you.
Exactly. Yep. A 7-year-old. Fuck you.
Hey, Mom. I'm not cleaning my room.
But no, this movie has a special place in my heart because of when I saw it. And I went into this with the first Terminator. But I'll go into it again in case you haven't listened to that episode yet. You should listen to it if you haven't listened to it yet. It's an excellent episode. So
I know where you're going because I took the time to re-listen to that episode before this one. Anyway, proceed.
So the first time I saw this movie, it was in 1991, or very possibly like early 92. It was shortly after it came out on video. So it was released in the summer of 91. And so when it came out on VHS, let's see, I was 7 years old. And my dad decided one night he's going to rent some movies and he's going to bring them home, and he and my brother and I were going to have a guy's night and watch some movies. And the 3 movies that he rented were Terminator, Terminator 2, and Backdraft. And we had a triple feature that night.
Yep.
So, first time I saw Terminator, first time I saw Terminator 2. I was 7 years old, laying down on the couch, watching these movies with my dad and my brother, and it was awesome. And I have very fond memories of that night.
So when I was I bet you do. I bet you do. So when I was re-listening to the episode, and you mentioned that that evening, yeah, it made me think back to our Con Air episode earlier this summer when we weren't allowed to watch Con Air.
Yeah,
6 or 7 years later.
Yeah, 6 or 7 years later. I wasn't allowed to watch Con Air, but my dad had no problem with me watching Terminator, TD2, and Backdraft back to back to back when I was 7 years old.
And like Terminator 2 is like it's pretty intense. It doesn't really let up, which we'll get to.
I mean, there's no emotional catharsis in it like there is in the first one.
No,
but it is intense.
There's just there isn't a deranged orderly, but
yes, but he gets his comeuppance.
He does. Maybe not as much as he probably deserves.
No, definitely not as much as he deserves, but he at least gets something.
I was so I just looked this up since we mentioned 1991. It is a 1991 movie. This movie is now 34 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't done this for every movie this summer, but it was the number 1 movie the entire year for 1991. And number 2 was a movie we did last summer, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Number 4 was a movie we did for the Oscars, The Silence of the Lambs. So,
well, it sounds like we need to do number 3 movie.
Number 3 movie is Beauty and the Beast.
Maybe
which
sometime.
is not a summer blockbuster.
It was not a summer blockbuster, but
we've done animated movies for the series, but that one's not within that realm.
But that doesn't mean we can't do an animated movie some other time of the year.
We could do it some other time of the year. And we could talk about Angela Lansbury as a teapot.
Yep. We could. We
talk enough about her like murdering everybody in Cabot Cove.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I don't remember I really don't remember the first time I saw this movie, probably. I was trying to think about this. So I was watching my my DVD copy of it the other night. The Extreme DVD that had the metal case.
The metal case around, yes.
Yes.
Not a steel book, but just the metal slip case.
And it tore the crap out of plastic for the actual case, but I was totally okay with that.
Yep.
And I remember finding it at the Best Buy in like Fair Lakes, and we were together when I found it, and I bought it.
I remember that.
And it's just funny, I don't really remember why we were shopping together at Fair Lakes.
I don't either.
Best Buy.
I don't either.
Which is not really anywhere close to where either one of us lived at the time. And
could we have been?
I don't recall if that was the first. That was my first time that night. I just bought it, and then I figured I would definitely like it, or if I had seen it once before, and then bought it.
Did you? Wait, wasn't the first time you saw it when we were having our Wednesday night movie nights after my fire department stuff. Wasn't that the first time we saw it?
Kind of thinking it was during that time frame.
I know
maybe.
we watched it at that time. It was one of the movies we watched. And
that's
I
what
thought I remembered you saying you hadn't
those,
seen it before, but I could be wrong.
That's what I was wondering. It was one of those nights, and then I bought it after that. And I was thinking, okay, so what if it was one? I do kind of remember watching it for one of those nights. And did I watch it before that or not? And I can't recall. Because it's funny, like I've seen it at least a dozen times in the last, since, buying that DVD. I've seen it countless times. Like I can't even remember. I watched a lot of time. I watched it a lot.
Yeah.
Because like we're getting into a movie now that's like in like the top tier of movies that I love.
Yes.
Not just movies. There's movies I love, and there's movies I love.
Mm-hmm.
And I love this movie.
Yep.
I mean, we're getting into a movie now, right? So that's this is like, arguably the greatest action movie of all time. We talked about it with Die Hard. You can, maybe I'd put Die Hard a little bit above this, right? Because I love Die Hard too.
Oh yeah, Die Hard. Yeah, I would put Die Hard above this. As you know, because it's
Aliens.
I mean, Die Hard was a trailblazer in
both,
the action
both of these
genre.
trailblazers.
This was too, but
Die Hard established kind of its own genre in a way, and this is it's its own thing. This is James Cameron through and through.
Yes, yes, fantastic movie. Love this movie.
Exactly. The movie is essentially like 4 separate like set pieces. You have a little bit of setup, and then you get into the 4 set pieces in this movie.
Yep.
And there's one little lull in the middle.
Yep.
Right? Just to give you a little bit of a breather. Because the first 2 set pieces kind of just go straight into each other. And the last 2 set pieces go really right into each other.
Yeah. And this movie has everything. It's got dirt bikes, it's got semi trucks, it's got helicopters,
it's got arcades,
it's got mullets.
It does have mullets.
It's got robots.
It's got Xander Berkeley.
It does have Xander Berkeley. I was going to mention that too. It has Xander Berkeley.
Microbar.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have the techno club like the first Terminator movie, but this is now the 90s.
And it has a very interesting nod to a very popular band.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And okay. We get into that now.
We'll get into it when it happens. It's fairly early on. It's pretty early on in the movie, so we'll get to it soon.
There's also liquid nitrogen in this movie.
Yes, there is.
A lot of it.
Yes, there's a truckload of it.
Yes. There's Joe Morton. Joe Morton's in this movie.
Yes, he is. A lot of people get shot in the knee.
Deaths get measured in the tents.
Yes.
At least theoretically, it looks like they get measured in the tents. We don't see any actually measured, like, no, 2.2 and 7 tenths.
No.
But there is the tenths
Yes.
decimal place.
Yes.
Which we'll get to that too.
Yes. We will.
There's more lightning. Right?
Yeah. Yep.
There's Mexican, gun runners.
There's naked bodybuilders.
Yes. There's juvenile delinquents. There is a mental hospital.
Yes, there is. Yeah, so
it does have a little bit of everything.
Yeah. And there's even Mexico.
There's Mexico. There's dogs. There's dogs in this movie.
Yes, there are. This movie is international doesn't all just take place in the United States.
They're brief Mexican scenes.
Yes.
There's product placement. You got Pepsi, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got random people dying for no reason while drinking Pepsi.
Yep.
There's a mall with the arcade.
You
right?
got a Public Enemy T-shirt, and that's not the reference I was talking about.
There's certain aspects when I watch this movie, and I can't help but think of, like old episodes of Unsolved Mysteries, and they talk about like people disappearing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I just see certain scenes in this movie, and it's just random shots of LA, and just makes
Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh, by the way, there's also burning playgrounds in this movie. Yes.
Not just burning playgrounds, but playgrounds that are burning because of a nuclear blast.
In fact, there is a child that is burning on said playground in this movie.
And everybody else that's on that playground.
Who then get reduced to ash. Mm-hmm. Yes, their children get reduced to ash in this movie. So yes.
Well, technically that's a dream sequence, but still.
It's a dream sequence, but it's there.
Yeah, it's still there. But anyway, fantastic movie.
Yeah. And it's we haven't even got it. We mentioned a little bit of the cast, right? Obviously, Linda Hamilton and Arnold Schwarzenegger are back.
Yep. Edward Furlong joins them this time.
Edward Furlong joins them, and it's his, I guess, first movie, right? Because he's introducing Edward Furlong.
Robert Patrick is here.
And I say Robert Patrick in probably his most iconic role.
Yeah. And we got Earl Bowen reprising his role from the first one.
Yes.
As Dr. Silberman. Yeah, like you said, Joe Morton.
Yeah, I mean, it's really him. So we watched I watched the director's cut. I'm sure you watched the director's cut.
I actually did not watch the director's cut this time.
Okay.
Because my director's cut is packed away right now, and I didn't feel like taking it out of a box. So I streamed it.
Okay. So if you watch the director's cut, then you also have one actor from the first, in Michael Biehn.
Mm-hmm.
But his scene was cut, which doesn't really make any sense to me. That should have been the one that should have definitely been cut kept.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Then we also have Danny Cooksey, who the mullet I was talking about. So Danny Cooksey's interesting. So we know him from, people our age know him from Salute Your Shorts.
Salute Your Shorts,
which he did shortly after this. Then also, he was the voice of Montana Max in Tiny Toons.
Yes, he was. He was.
Yes. So this is his only movie that, really his only role in a production that was not made for children or families. So at least according to IMDb. So he's done a ton of voice work, mostly for kids cartoons.
Okay.
And then some video games here and there. He's done some live action stuff. He was in Different Strokes. He was Sam in Different Strokes. He was in an episode of MacGyver, stuff like that. He was in Mac and Me.
Touched by an Angel?
He was not touched by an angel, no. But he was in Mac and Me. Remember that one?
Okay. Yes, I do.
That big McDonald's commercial of a movie. So yeah, then he's done. I guess this is his really only R-rated production that he's been in.
I guess he figured that he helped save the world in the future by helping John Connor. And there was no need to do an adult movie after that. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, he's done a ton of stuff for cartoons for Nickelodeon and Disney and all that.
Interesting.
I guess mostly Disney.
Yeah,
But
I was I shouldn't say I remember. I was I briefly scanned his credits earlier today, and yeah, I remember seeing MacGyver on there, but I didn't really look that closely. So,
yeah, he's one of those. I have always remembered this guy because of
oh yeah,
this
no,
Salute Your Shorts.
because
You
salute
know,
your shorts, and then like later, then you watch this, or apparently
Mhm.
you watched them at the same time.
Yes, I did.
And then you watch, yeah. And he's like, it's funny because like, I mean, he's in like the first like quarter, like the first act of this movie,
Yeah,
and then he drops out of it. You
yeah.
never see him
You
again,
never see him again.
right? Um, so yeah, and but like he makes his mark in the movie
Yeah.
because he's got a mullet. He's a juvenile delinquent, but then he saves the day,
Yes, he does.
and we'll get to that. But also in this movie is a small role, Mark Christopher Lawrence.
Yes, I was going to mention him too.
If you know Chuck,
Yes.
you would know him.
He was Big Mike and Chuck. He's not quite as big in this as he was in Chuck. This is before he became Big Mike. When, I mean, who knows? His character's name might have just been Mike in this. I don't know. Maybe it's the same character.
It could be the same character. Maybe after his experience in this, he's like, you know what? I'm not doing that again.
I'm going to go manage a TV version of Best Buy.
So we'll get to most of the rest of the cast. The other thing I want to bring up on this, thinking about TV series, would be Dean Norris.
Yes, he's in this too.
And,
he's the SWAT.
He's in this too, and he has like basically one or two lines. He's a SWAT character, and so I mean, most of it he's all in his like gear, and so you don't really even see his face, but he has a few lines,
Mm-hmm.
and so yeah, obviously this is well before Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
And again, he plays a law enforcement officer.
Yes, he does.
Which he seems to play that quite often. Like he was in that in Little Miss Sunshine also.
Yeah. And then, of course, we got Xander Berkeley.
We said Xander Berkeley.
And also Jeanette Goldstein.
That's the next one I was going to bring up.
Who was also in Aliens. That other James Cameron movie that we were talking about.
She was also in Titanic.
She was, wasn't she?
She was the mother of the Irish children, and she sleeps with, they get on the bed. There's a scene with them, and at the end, there's a scene with the scene that stands out to me with them is when the three of them are like on the bed together about to drown as the ship sinks. However, she has another role I want to bring up. She was in Lethal Weapon 2.
Yes, she was.
She's the one that explodes on the diving board.
On the diving board. Mm-hmm.
She goes to dive on the diving board and sets off the bomb, and she explodes.
Yep. Yep.
I guess she doesn't really explode, but she gets
the diving board explodes and she gets launched into the pool, flipping along the way.
She flips, and then the force is enough to knock her out or kill her, and then drown her. Yeah. So anyway,
spoiler alert for Lethal Weapon 2.
Lethal Weapon 2, which we've already spoiled part of that movie. Diplomatic immunity
has just been revoked. How did he hear him? They were really far away from each other.
Hey, we'll get to that in Lethal Weapon 2. What are we going to do with Lethal Weapon movies?
True.
We have so many to do.
Yeah, we do. All right. So, another thing.
Enough of that.
Another thing about this movie that I know we talk about a lot of movies is the score is great.
Yes.
It fits the movie
score
perfectly.
Is fantastic in this.
Fits the movie perfectly. It takes from the original Terminator score and adds to it, just like a good sequel should.
It's Brad Fiedel does the score. We haven't really talked about him before.
No, we haven't.
But he did score the original. So it makes sense to use him here too. And again, it borrows from the first and then also gives its own beats for the sequel.
So should we get into it?
I think so. I think the only thing to say is we'll talk about this as we're getting into the movie. But I think it's actually appropriate since we did Honey, I Shrunk the Kids last week. We talked about how well that kind of blends practical effects and the actual kind of more true like special visual effects, like more computer generated effects. This movie, I mean, does the same. Like,
yes.
Stan Winston's puppet work in this movie, is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like when you look at it, a lot of it, like you're really it's impressive how much work they do. That's actual, real special effects, true special effects. That's used like using puppets essentially.
Yeah.
And how well it's integrated and just, and then when they use visual effects, or like computer generated effects to meld the two.
Yeah.
And you can see why it took 7 years to wait to release this movie.
Yes.
Right. Because I mean, that's the one thing about the original one where they're using some of the stop motion, like, okay, all right. You can see that it's
you can see that it's stop motion. You can see that, but I mean, it was done well. But you can still tell. This one is,
and we'll get to it because
above it
as we get into the specifics of the story and the characters. But it's excellent. So with that, I think we can get into it.
All right. Well, as always, spoiler alert, we are going to be talking about this entire movie, beginning, middle, and end. So if you have not seen it and you don't want to be spoiled, then pause the podcast, watch the movie, and come back and listen. If you have seen it or you just don't mind being spoiled, then keep on listening. But you have been warned, we will be spoiling this 34-year-old movie.
Yes, we will.
So, we begin
with a scene of Los Angeles traffic.
Yes. Los Angeles traffic. And it's very, very trafficy, full of traffic, just like LA.
Michael Douglas is in there.
Yep.
The music.
Well, I mean, he might be in one of those cars.
Yes, I mean, looks like a hot, like Los Angeles summer day. Not hot, I guess. Los Angeles doesn't get hot like a lot of cities, but still.
If it was a hot summer day, like if we knew that it was like really hot, then Cruel Summer would probably be playing.
I mean, it's gonna get hot at certain points.
Yeah, it's gonna get real cold at certain points too.
No, I like how they started because again, there's these establishing shots of Los Angeles, but the end of the movie kind of the first movie, Terminator, kind of ends with Sarah Connor driving off
into a storm,
into this uncertain future, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's just kind of speaking to it's almost her way. I mean, like breaking the fourth wall at the end of the first Terminator. And this one now she's narrating to us about what's about to happen in the future.
Yeah, so basically Judgment Day, the day that Skynet takes over, is going to be a couple of years ahead of this movie in 1997.
Okay, so I think what's important to say about this, right? So the first Terminator was released in 1984, and it takes place in 1984.
Yes, this one was released in 91. It takes place about 94.
Yes, takes place a few years after that.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a movie that actually takes place in the future from when it's released.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the beginning of the movie is talking about another future.
Yes.
Which is Judgment Day.
Judgment Day in October?
I want to say it's like October.
Because wasn't it like in August? No, 97. Wasn't August was when Cyberdyne created Skynet. September was when Skynet became self-aware, and then October was Judgment Day.
Right, and
97.
that's what it goes over. It kind of goes through that. How it becomes self-aware, and then we attack Skynet, but then Skynet strikes back.
Yes.
And eventually nukes us.
Mm-hmm.
Quick caveat, or quick aside. So, what I am reading here says that this takes place in 1995.
95, okay.
So 11 years which makes sense because John does look about 10.
Yeah.
And if the first one takes place in 84, he would still need to be born after that. He would still need to
be born 9 months later. He's born, and then,
So. But the important part happens, so, like you said, 1999, which is
1997.
That's right, 97. But then I think 99 when they finally nuke us?
No, it's 97.
The series, there's a war that happens, and then...
So, no, 97 was Judgment Day. The 97 was when they nuked us. Because then that's where the Resistance started, where John was leading the Resistance.
But then even at that, right? So they, so she talks about how, she gives a brief, doesn't even go that much into it. It says how she was targeted before she could give birth to the leader of the Resistance, John Connor, right? And if you've seen Terminator, you know what we're talking about. If you've listened to our Terminator episode, you know what we're talking about. Yeah. Right? But she's kind of giving that brief history there. Right? And obviously they failed, right? Because of Kyle Reese.
Because of Kyle Reese. John's daddy.
Yes. So, and then they actually give us a brief glimpse into the future, which is even the future for today. They go into 30 years after Judgment Day.
Yeah. When John Connor is an adult and he's got this big old scar on his face.
Yes. Right. And he's looking out, there's, they got Terminators shooting at things, and you got their guys looking at things, and he's just standing over all of it. Right. But now she decides, and Sarah goes into it that, Skynet has decided to send back someone to eliminate the preteen John Connor. But John Connor also has decided to send back someone else to protect him. Yes. Right? So you had someone, the Resistance sends someone back to protect Sarah.
Just like the first movie.
Now the Resistance, I'm going to send one now to actually protect John.
So so Skynet sent back, they send back the top of the line Terminator, and the Resistance also sends somebody back.
Right. So that's the other things. They send back their top of the line, which has been
in the first movie is the T-800.
Improved in some ways, not in every way.
We'll get to that.
But the most recent model, from whatever year they sent back, and the original Terminator was Arnold Schwarzenegger, the T-800.
This one that they sent back is the T-1000.
Yes, and the T-800, if you know your Terminator lore, is actually not the first Terminator series.
No.
But we'll get into T-1000. If you have not seen the movie, right, we will kind of just, we'll get our discussion about the differences between the models. And as we'll find out, the T-800 has been updated and reprogrammed.
Yes.
But we're not there yet. One of the things I like about this here, though, is that she gives a very brief description of the first movie, but they don't really show us anything else about it.
No.
They just give us, they give us a brief description of it because they're going to assume that you've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Right?
Or if you haven't seen it, it's still enough of a description to get you
understand.
to get you by to be able to understand this movie.
You don't need to see, kids dropping ice cream in Sarah Connor's
pockets,
or waitress pockets,
emotional catharsis in a seedy motel room.
No, you don't need to see her roommates get murdered. We don't need to see the other Sarah Connor have her head blown off.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Anyway, so and then it just cuts into the credits. The credits is just a bunch of things on fire.
Yes.
Including a playground.
Yeah.
You have the little rocking like horses.
And that's not the last time. That's not the last time that this same playground will be burning in this movie.
So, right. And finally, they get the Terminator music. Right? And it just ends on the Terminator without all his living tissue.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and that's it, right?
Yep.
And we cut to it, right? We cut to some place at night. It's Los Angeles, and they get the little lightning thing, and then Arnold Schwarzenegger pops up, and he's naked. Naked in all his Arnold glory.
Yep. His muscles rippling. The lightning must have, secreted some baby oil or something like that on him to make his muscles glisten.
Oh my, sorry. Oh, they glisten. There's a bunch of people about to be really jealous of his glistening muscles.
Yep. And it's right outside of a biker bar.
Yes. But there's already going to be some differences here, right? Compared to the first time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the first time when he appears, he's just finding some punks led by Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
And again, like we talked in the first one, here's this naked dude. They're going to challenge him.
Yeah.
And he's obviously, but here this time, he's going to be some of them are a bit more like his size and might be armed, right? And, if you don't know everything about the movie, you might think, okay, what's going to happen with them? You might think he's still the villain of this story, right?
Yep. You might think that.
And he sees things, and he's scanning things, and then you see it's okay, not a match, and female, and all these things.
He walks into the biker bar completely butt naked, and everybody's staring at him and everything while he's walking through, and he's scanning everybody. It's targeting their clothes, and it's not a match.
And they're confused. They're amused by it because here's a naked dude, but he's also ripped and kind of imposing.
Mm-hmm. Kind of imposing. Dude's gigantic.
There's a waitress that she's like, ooh, and he finally gets a match.
He comes up to this guy who I don't know how this guy's a match.
I don't either.
Because he's pretty skinny.
He is.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger is not skinny. He's bulky. He's muscular.
But he is credited as Cigar Biker.
Yes, Cigar Biker. It's this older
played
gentleman.
by Robert Winley.
Got a big gray beard. A big gray bushy beard.
Great big bushy beard. He's playing pool, and there's some other guys playing pool with him, right?
Smoking a cigar.
And Arnold just goes up to him. Well, first he blows smoke in Arnold's face, and I love how it says in his little computer is cancerous vapor.
Yes, cancerous vapor. And he just walks up to the guy, and he's like, "I need your clothes and your motorcycle." Just very direct.
The guy's he's like, "What are you gonna do about it?" And then he
puts his cigar out on Arnold's chest, and he doesn't flinch because he's a robot. But then everybody else is all impressed because he didn't flinch.
Except for his one friend. He then decides this guy is smaller than Cigar Biker.
Mm-hmm.
Which means he's smaller.
He's way smaller than Arnold.
And he thinks it's a good idea to hit him with a pool stick.
Yes.
Even after this cigar did not burn him.
Well, it burned him. It burned through his living tissue.
But it did not harm him.
No, it did not harm him. But yeah. So yeah, that doesn't go over well.
At least this guy doesn't die, and he gets thrown through the window. And then Cigar Biker decides it's a good idea to attack him again.
Yeah.
But he doesn't get thrown through the window. He gets thrown into the kitchen.
Yeah, he gets thrown in the kitchen.
Onto the stove.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And he pulls a gun on him.
Yes.
He pulls a gun on Arnold.
And that's right. And that's when Arnold throws him onto the stove. Yeah. That's right.
And then some of the other bikers pull their guns on him, and they start shooting him in the back, but nothing's happening because he's a robot. And now you got Cigar Biker. He's cowering on the floor against the wall. And, he just reaches in his pocket, pulls out his motorcycle keys, and hands them to Arnold. And Arnold takes his gun also, and his clothes. So now
we don't see him take the clothes, so he obviously puts them on.
So did he leave Cigar Biker completely naked, or did he at least leave him his underwear?
Well, that's a great question.
Because we never see Cigar Biker again. We don't know if he killed him, or we don't know if he just took his clothes and left.
Because he's a robot, his excretion is different, where he probably doesn't necessarily need underwear.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably built like a Ken doll down there. Although, people probably wouldn't have had the same reactions that they were having in the biker bar if he was. So maybe he's not built like a Ken doll. I don't know.
Well, that's a good point. Or maybe they are, because here's this muscular dude, and all of a sudden he looks like a Ken doll.
Yeah, true. True.
Then again, the waitress was looking.
Yes, the waitress was checking him out. So
she was also checking out his glistening abs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there is that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's when we get Bad of the Bone start playing.
Yes, Bad of the Bone starts playing as he walks out of the bar to the bike, climbs on it, and rides away.
Well, before he rides away, I'm guessing he is the owner of this bar or the manager. He comes out. Lloyd, played by Pete Shrum.
Pete Shrum.
He comes out with his Winchester.
Yes. Yes.
And he tells you, I can't let you take the dude's bike. The man, they say, I can't let you take the man's bike.
Yeah.
Because he starts up the Harley, right? It's a Harley.
Mm-hmm.
And then, he kicks the leg stand back down. He gets off. And he just walks up imposingly, because once he starts walking up, this guy knows he's no match for this dude, right? So he doesn't even attempt to shoot at him. And then Arnold politely takes the Winchester.
Yep, he takes the Winchester. And it's not just any Winchester. It's a Winchester shotgun, right? It's a lever action shotgun.
And then Mr. Lloyd also has sunglasses in his pocket.
Yes,
he's got like a jean vest. And he takes them out, puts them on, and he rides off. And then Bad the Bone finishes playing.
Yes, he takes them out and puts them on. Even though it's nighttime, Arnold is the kind of cool that wears sunglasses at night.
So this time,
like
compared to the first one, he does not murder anybody.
Yeah.
Now, what I did notice this time that I don't think I've recalled seeing before is the guy that he threw through the front window is still laying on the hood of the car that he landed on, kind of writhing in pain.
I mean, makes perfect sense. He just got thrown through a window.
So then we cut to the next scene, which is now another lightning storm, right? And you kind of see it in the background, and you see this cop car approaching it. And this cop car's just doing rounds, and the cop car notices this, and he puts on his lights, right?
Yep.
And he stops. And he tells dispatch he's gonna investigate an electrical disturbance. And he looks around. He's not seeing anything, and then he sees this big circle and this chain link fence, and you can tell it just got burned out. Unfortunately, then quietly from behind him, a naked Robert Patrick shows up and just stabs him in his stomach, and you see him kind of fall over, and you see Robert Patrick walk away with the cop's clothes on. There's this pool of blood, right? He gets into the cop car
and drives off,
right? And then he punches in John Connor. Yeah. Right? He doesn't need to look in a phone book.
No,
he's got
doesn't.
a cop car.
He's got a cop car.
And he sees
he can look in the
John Connor
database.
has a record.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm not, I don't know which. This might not be the right one. I don't know if I have the right actor for this cop, unfortunately. But that's okay. But he drives off.
So, yeah, but he's able to get through the computer in the cop car. He's able to get John Connor's home address.
And we see that he lives with foster parents.
And then it cuts to John Connor's house. His foster parents'
house. It's daytime now.
And he is going
working
out
on a dirt bike.
He's working on a dirt bike. And his friend Tim comes over. And just as he gets the dirt bike running, then his foster parents come out.
Yep. Well, his mom comes out. It's like, John, whatever. And, he ignores her. She goes back in, right? And she goes to Todd, who's just his stepdad. Not his foster dad, not his stepdad. His foster dad.
Xander Berkeley.
Played by Xander Berkeley. He's like, you gotta tell that kid to clean the room. And Todd's just sitting on the couch enjoying his freaking Saturday.
Yes. And Jeanette Goldstein, by the way, is the foster mother, Janelle.
And it's like she's fed up with John, right? But he's like, whatever. Guess I'll cut into my TV time on Saturday to tell this kid to clean his room.
Yeah,
right. And so he goes off and he goes out, talks with it, and at this point they're all, the two of them are on the dirt bike ready to ride off, and it's like, she's not my mom, Todd.
I love it. She's not my mom, Todd.
And at this point, John's kind of a little dick. I don't know if I like little John Connor.
Yeah.
But you know what? Given his life, you can see why he might be a bit like this, right? So, and we'll kind of find out some of his backstory. So, we get a scene where, they ride over to a bank and he's able to put a little device.
First off, before they do that, when they get on the dirt bike and ride off, so John is, he's the one actually driving it, and Tim is sitting on, he's sitting behind him.
Back, yeah.
And as they're riding off, you see Tim's mullet just flowing in the wind.
And then it's like the Nicolas Cage spirit animal right next to it.
Yep. It's just flowing in the wind. That red
Todd's
mullet.
Like, yeah!
That red mullet just flowing in the wind.
So they get to a bank, right? And Todd, no, not Todd, but John knows how to hack PIN numbers for ATM machines, right?
Yep. He's got a card that's, attached to some wires. It goes to a little box that, it's able to basically scan the account and pull the PIN number from it. So he can get free money anytime he wants.
Yep. So they take that and they're ready to head off.
They're heading to the arcade.
They're heading to the arcade. Now we also know in between this, we get some shots at the mental hospital or a not just a mental hospital, but it's facility for those that have been convicted of a crime, or not necessarily convicted of a crime, but criminals that are potentially mental issues, so to speak. And she is at Pescadero State Hospital, a maximum security facility for the criminally insane. And now you look at her, right? So the first thing we get her, like, we have Dr. Silberling, right? He's giving a tour to some visitors,
Yes, Dr. Silberman,
doctors, about just the hospital grounds and some of the certain patients.
Mm-hmm.
And we get a shot of her room, and she's doing like pull-ups. Like, she's basically lifted up her bed with standing straight. The mattress is against the wall, standing tall, and she's just kind of doing some pull-ups, right? And she is completely different looking than when we last saw her in Terminator. She's ripped. She looks like she is ready to fight.
Yes.
She is not this naive.
She's done a complete 180 from the way she was in the first one.
And I mean, she has made it her mission now, right? So, like, obviously her experience from the first one, and then knowing her son has this specific destiny that she needs to do everything she can to prepare him for that and protect him for that, right? But so anyway, at this point, we still don't know why she is incarcerated, right? We can guess why people think she's insane, and he quickly goes into it. He's telling these other doctors, right, that the kind of the basic synopsis of the first movie.
Yeah, or at least the scene at the police station in the first movie.
And she got in, yes, and that, and he tells her, like, yeah, she thinks that this thing came back to kill her son, who had not been born yet. He will be the leader of this resistance that will fight off these machines that are supposed to destroy the world, right? So, and they're all looking at her like she's the specimen, right? Mm-hmm. And they go off, and he says something to a couple of the orderlies. One of them, played by Mark Christopher Lawrence, and the other one had his name briefly.
The other one is Denny Pierce.
Lewis the Guard, played by Don Stanton.
Well, we've also got Denny Pierce.
No, Lewis is later. Sorry.
Yeah, Denny Pierce is the other burly attendant.
Danny Pierce, thank you. Yes. Thank you so much. Yes. So, and they go in, they basically tase her and subdue her, and so, and what they say to her as they're in this, like, oh yeah, you're up for review today, right? You might get special privileges, because, if you have the right behavior. But they tase her, and that's that. Mm-hmm. So, we get other scenes now of the greater Los Angeles area. We have, we cut back to Robert Patrick, right? Plays the T-1000.
Yep.
We don't know that he's a T-1000 yet. That gets
right
explained later, but we'll call him the T-1000 right now.
He's dressed as a cop, and so he's at John's foster parents' house.
Jeanette and Todd's house.
Yeah. Janelle
he knocks on the door, and they open it because he looks like a cop, right? And he asks, are you the foster parents of John Connor? And Todd's like, what's he done this time?
Yeah. And so, he asks if they have a photo of him, and they give him a photo. And he's
Which is kind of an old photo of him.
Yeah. He's like, oh, this is a good-looking kid. You mind if I hang out of this photo? I'm like, sure.
Oh, yeah, sure. It's like, and then Todd's like, some other man was here looking for him earlier. Should we worry about him? I love the line.
This big biker-looking guy?
Worry about him.
Yeah.
Right.
So
we have a few scenes where you have Arnold, the T-800, right?
Well, first he leaves. So first, Robert Patrick leaves, and then he walks up to a car and looks down the window, and Wayne and Garth are sitting in there, and he shows them the picture. He's like, "Have you seen this boy?"
Oh my!
Which, no, that's not in this movie, but it is in Wayne's World.
It is in Wayne's World. Yes.
And then they scream and drive off.
So we kind of get these scenes are like interspersed of the two of them, both the Arnold and Robert Patrick, the T-800 and the T-1000, searching for John, right? And the T-800 just misses like John. Like,
yeah,
there's a point where he drives right by an intersection where they're just driving through, right?
And so, yeah, John and Tim are headed to the mall.
Galleria.
Yes, the Galleria.
Because we have a scene where we have a T-1000, Robert Patrick, he's talking to these two girls, and he shows them the photos. Like, have you seen this boy? It's like, oh, yeah. I think we saw him, about 15, 20 minutes ago. I think he
said he was going to the Galleria.
He was going to the Galleria. Like, the Galleria? Yeah, the mall. It's like, okay, thank you. Right? And then we get another scene that kind of cuts back to the hospital where Sarah's going through her review. Right?
Yep.
And she's sitting there and she is watching this video. Right? Where
of a past interview with her.
With Dr. Silverman, right? Played by Aurora Bourne. And she's, he's asking her in this video that he's showing, to explain about the Terminator, right? Or in Judgment Day. She kind of goes into it, and and during the thing, he's trying to poke holes in the story and how it doesn't make any sense, right? And she gets agitated in the video. So and she finally ends with her like screaming about how
looking right at the camera.
It's going to feel pretty real on this day of Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Anyone not wearing 2 million SPF sunscreen, it's going to feel pretty bad.
Yep.
Right?
Especially if you're in that park.
Especially that park. And that's not even the epicenter. So they pause the video.
Yeah. And then
she's standing back there, she's watching it, she's smoking a cigarette, she's acting cool right now because right? And they have a little conversation. And it's like, how do you think you've been these last 6 months, whatever it is, since the last review? It's like, well, I think I've done well. I've made this progress. And you asked me if I had any goals. I have a goal. I would love to see my son, John. And he said that if I had good behavior and I improved, I could see him. I really want to see him. Right? And she's playing this well because she wants to see him, make sure she's okay. But also because not just okay in general, but that he's safe and protected.
Yeah.
I think, within, for her mindset, it's well within the possibility that they could send another Terminator back to get him. And she's not really wrong about that. So as we're watching this, then we see that there are other people, on the other side of the two-way mirror also watching it. They're taking their notes. And Dr. Silverman, because he's a little penis head, says, I think you just are saying this because I think you're just saying what you want me to, believe or feel or think, right? And he says, I have to deny your asking this, right?
He's like,
I can't allow that.
We have to keep you in here for another 6 months.
And I can't let you see your son. And then she reacts quite violently.
Yes. Yes.
Attacking Dr. Silverman.
Yes.
Now, is this when she kind of pawns the little the needle, the pen?
Well, she palms a paperclip.
Paperclip, that's what it is, the paperclip. That's right. She palms it while all of them are talking, but then so she attacks him. Obviously, they come rushing in to taser and restrain her. And then, they get restrained. And, of course, he has a nice line after, he gets up and he straightens out his, little suit or whatever. And he's like, model citizen. Hey, dude, you're a psychiatrist.
Mhm.
You think her story is clearly kind of crazy, and you kind of think that she is legitimately crazy. Like that, like why would you dig at her and like mock her by saying that she's a model citizen when technically you would think that this is not in her control?
Yeah.
Right?
So then we're back to the arcade.
Yeah, we're back at the mall.
John's playing
Arnold
a game.
is carrying a box of roses. These big boxes of roses in the mall.
Yeah,
he's cutting in the arcade.
And we're cutting the arcade. And John's playing a game.
John's playing this racing game.
First off, John is playing Missile Command.
Oh, that's right, Missile Command.
Playing Missile Command. And then he's gonna go play fighter jet game.
That was the fighter jet game. This is perfect. This is such a this is a perfect demonstration of like the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
An arcade.
Yes.
In the mall. Yeah. Spot on.
Mm-hmm. So he goes over to the fighter jet game and he starts playing that, and Tim tells him he's going to get some more quarters. So Tim goes back up toward the counter to get more quarters, and Robert Patrick walks in. And he's, asking around, showing the picture.
Yeah, a couple other girls, and they said like, "Oh, yeah, no, maybe I don't know."
And then he walks up to Tim and he shows him the picture. He's like, "Have you seen this boy?" He's like, "No, I haven't seen him."
Nah, never seen him.
Yeah, never seen that kid. And he sells it too.
Oh, he sells it. Yes,
he sells it. And so then, as Robert Patrick walks away, then Tim runs back over to John. He's like, "Hey, you got to go. There's a cop looking for you."
Right? And then, so John just looks towards like the entrance of the arcade, and he sees the T-1000 there, Robert Patrick, talking with this other kid's like, "Oh yeah, I think he's over there. I saw that kid right over there." And then, they catch eyes, and the T-1000 obviously sees him.
Mm-hmm. So John runs out the back.
And then Tim, he steps up, like, "Hey, I think I saw that kid.
I think I saw the kid over there."
He just throws Tim to
the side. And that's the last we see of Tim in this movie.
What happened to Tim after that? I don't know. He shat his pants. He's like, "I am not dealing with this psycho kid again."
I don't know.
Especially after what he sees on the news. I don't know. But there's thankfully a door that leads into the back,
the back hallways of the mall.
The mall.
The behind the scenes part of the mall. And so, so John's running through there, and around the corner comes Arnold Schwarzenegger carrying this box of roses.
Yep.
And now here, as I mentioned earlier, here is the very interesting creative nod to a very popular band. Because he drops the box of roses, and inside this box, he's got that Winchester shotgun. So you got Guns N' Roses.
But John starts running away, and he sees Arnold Schwarzenegger. He sees the T-800, and he's heard the stories. We don't know the stories, but he's heard the stories. And so he sees that, and he automatically thinks, "Oh, that's a Terminator.
Yeah, he's here to kill me." And
so he starts to run the other way.
And there's this other guy,
this poor mall worker
that's in there.
He went to get a Pepsi.
Yes, he went to get a Pepsi. He went to get a Pepsi. Okay, so folks, this is why you should drink Coke, not Pepsi.
Yes,
but more than that, you should drink Dr. Pepper.
Hey, it's not his fault that the section of the mall where he works, they put a freaking Pepsi machine. It's not his fault. That is management's fault.
Yes, it is. It is. But he did not have to get a Pepsi. He could have gone to another area.
He could have gone to the food court.
He could have.
If management was only going to give Pepsi vending machines, he could have gone to the food court.
I mean, who knows? Maybe he was getting Dr. Pepper from that Pepsi vending machine.
Maybe he was.
Maybe. I don't know.
No,
Anyway.
I thought I saw he had a Pepsi can.
He did have a Pepsi can. But
he did have a Pepsi can.
He did have a Pepsi can. But anyway, so the guy tries to stop Arnold, but Arnold kind of pushes him out of the way.
Right.
And as he's pulling the shotgun out of the box of roses. And he points it right in John Connor's direction. It makes it look like he's going to shoot John. But then he says, "Get down." And so John ducks and he shoots the T-1000. Shoots Robert Patrick and sort of knocks him back, and he's got this big hole in his chest.
Which quickly resolves
itself. And we see he's not your run-of-the-mill Terminator.
And it's not just a hole in his chest. It's it's silver. It's this alloy, right? It's not so. And it just kind of all melds back into one piece. Looks like just a regular person again.
Yeah, so he shoots him a couple more times. Well, at that point, no, it doesn't. It doesn't right away. But he shoots him a couple more times, and so he's got
that's right,
4 or 5 holes in his chest.
Yes.
And then you have the whole "come with me if you want to live."
Well, then the T-1000. Right now, all he has, he's got a handgun, right? Just whatever the cop was that he killed.
Yeah, and so
that's right now. That's
pulls
the gun
the 9mm
right
out,
now.
and he starts shooting at John. But Arnold steps in the way of the bullets, and he takes him in the back.
And then as they pull away, he keeps shooting, and this poor mall worker is in the way of the last bullets.
All he wanted was a Pepsi. Once again, folks, don't drink Pepsi. It'll get you killed.
Yeah.
Unless Pepsi wants to advertise on our podcast, then we'll advertise for that. Not for death, but for Pepsi.
I just love how most of the other innocent death in this movie kind of just makes sense in terms of the just kind of what happens normal, but no, there just has to be a random mall worker getting a Pepsi.
Yeah, it just happens.
He gets caught between the firefight.
Yeah, he didn't ask for that.
So,
but the T-1000
John
doesn't care.
Gets away from Arnold. He gets away from the T-800, and he runs back into the garage, the Galleria, and he finds his dirt bike, and he starts driving away. Right.
Yep.
And you have the T-1000 running after him. Right.
So here's the interesting thing. So Robert Patrick trained to be able to run without showing that he's breathing heavy.
Yeah.
Because he knew that he was going to be playing a robot, and robots don't, breathe heavy when they're running for long distances. So yeah, in preparation for this role, he trained running and all this stuff so that he could run at top speed for a certain amount of time without breathing heavy.
Laboring.
Yeah. Just to make it look even more robotic.
I love him in this movie.
So do I.
So good.
Yes.
Because he is, again, really robotic. But one of the things we talked about in the first Terminator episode was that they still gave the T-100 character, even though he's a robot. And he does the same thing for the T-1000.
Yeah. Yeah.
He gives character to the T-1000. It's just this is his defining role, right? Nothing else he's really done has come off as seamlessly as this.
No.
He's just so good in this role. Because he's running straight after him. He's at top speed, that whatever speed the T-1000
Yeah, he's keeping up with the bike.
Yeah. And the way the bike's going at a good speed, right? The bike turns into traffic. I like how it causes a little bit of an accident, and then T1000 he has to get into a truck.
Yeah.
Right.
So he gets into a semi truck.
So he gets the semi. Is it just a cab or is it
just the cab
pulling a load?
Yeah. No, it's just the tractor.
That's the thing. That's what I thought. I thought it was just a tractor. I didn't think it had the trailer attached. So it's driving after him. At this point, obviously now that this can get a bigger speed than the dirt bike.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the T800 Arnold has gotten back to his Harley.
So Arnold's chasing the truck. The truck's chasing the dirt bike.
The dirt bike, John goes down to the little aqueducts, the drainage. I guess not really aqueducts, the drainage, right? Because occasionally you get the monsoons and flooding in Los Angeles, not often, but if it rains really heavy, you need the drainage there, right? So, they're riding down, and Arnold's actually kind of like staying in the streets, right? And occasionally, he'll switch between the two. And I mean, this is the first set piece here, right? Well, already started in the mall, right? But this chase through there, and I love it. Awesome.
I love it when they go in there. Then Arnold sees them going down there, so he pulls in, and there's a chain link fence with a gate that's got a chain on it with a lock, and he pulls out the shotgun. He shoots the lock. And then I love how he cocks the shotgun. Because he's got to hang onto the handlebars with one hand, so he just like spins the gun and cocks it as he's going because it's a lever action. So he's just doing it all one-handed.
Again, he's a robot.
Yeah,
he can do some slick stuff like that, right? There's a scene where within the drainage where there's like a low overpass, and because John's on a dirt bike. He goes under easily, right? But
the truck doesn't, not so much.
The T1000 has to duck, but it shears off the top half.
The top half of the truck.
The track, yeah. And John stops for a second to see what happens, but then he sees that it keeps driving. Coming. T1000, he gets right back up and he keeps driving.
And at this point, Arnold is. He's in the drainage too. He's behind the truck. He's shooting up the tires
down into the drainage. And there's a part there where the T1000's trying to crush him against the side, right? To pin him against there, right?
Yeah.
Kind of classic thing you kind of think about in a contained area in a chase.
Yeah. But Arnold is able to, to maneuver past him and get up in front of him. And as he goes up in front of him, he shoots out the front tire of the truck.
Grabs John, and puts him all on the bike with him, and then the bike crashes out. Under the tires.
Yeah, so the dirt bike. Truck. Yeah, so Arnold pulls John off of the dirt bike and puts him on the Harley with him, and then John's dirt bike, falls over and gets run over by the truck, and then there's another little overpass coming that it's actually got a concrete wall in the middle of it. So they're able to get through with the bike, but the truck's not going to make it through that. So the truck just crashes right into it. And then Arnold was able to shoot a hole in the gas tank also before, and when the truck crashed into it, then a couple of wires were dangling and sparked and ignited the gas, and the truck
always
explodes.
Happens, right?
Yep, but at least this time it showed how the truck ended up exploding. Usually in movies, it just explodes. But yeah, so Arnold stops the Harley, and they're looking back at it, and he's pointing the shotgun. He's just holding it out with one hand, just waiting.
And then you see a tire just start rolling towards them.
Yep, a burning tire.
Yes. And then drive off.
When nothing comes out of there, they
ride off.
They ride off.
They're on a Harley.
And then after they ride off, then we see the T1000 walking out of the flames, and he's in his liquid metal form.
He's just liquid metal form at this time, and he slowly turns into Robert Patrick.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And we get a scene where you got all the fire trucks and ambulances and cop cars there, and they're putting everything out. And Robert Patrick, the T-1000, finds an unattended cop car.
And
He gets into
in it,
and he drives off. So
then we got
a nice little
John
scene
and Arnold
where
and
John and T-800, they're riding through Los Angeles, and then they're far enough away, and John's like, all right, time out.
Yeah, pull over, let me off. And so they pull into an alley, or they pull into a parking lot, and they get off the bike, and
then John's like, so you're a Terminator, right?
he's like, so so you're not here to kill me. I figured that out myself. I was able to piece that together myself, that you're not here to kill me.
But now we get some exposition dump from Arnold.
So basically, he's saying that, in the future, Skynet sent back the T-1000 to kill John Connor, the leader of the Resistance, and he was sent back to protect him. He was reprogrammed and sent back.
And, you talks a little bit about how, he's living tissue.
Yeah. So he's like, I'm a cybernetic organism, living tissue around a metal endoskeleton.
John just kind of touches his cheek.
Yeah. Well, no, he don't. Yeah, he just kind of put him on his cheek. But before that, he put his finger in one of the bullet holes.
That's right, because he's wearing like a leather bicycle jacket, and it's got the bullet holes, right? Mm-hmm. Both the front and the back. He's been shot in the front and the back.
Yeah, and so he sticks his finger in one of the bullet holes on his back. Huh.
Yeah, he's amazed by it. I mean, I get that. He's like a 10, 11-year-old kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's like pushing in his cheeks.
And he finds out that John sent him. That John himself sent him in the future to protect himself.
Yeah. And so he tries to run away, and Arnold grabs him. He's like, let me go. And Arnold grabs him as he's trying to pull away, and he falls over. He's like, why'd you do that? It's like, you told me to.
I mean, you have to do what I say.
He's like, wait, what?
It's like, it's one of my commands.
Stand on one foot. He lifts up one of his feet. When he grabbed him, he was yelling. He's like, help, this guy's trying to take me.
Well, before that, he kind of, he tells him about like the T-1000, about how he's different.
Yeah, how he's liquid metal.
And he can't form, he can't make himself into.
He's like, why can't he just
machine like a bomb?
Yeah, he's like, why can't he just turn into a bomb and come up and blow me up? It's like, he can't turn into sophisticated machinery, like complex parts. A bomb or a gun has too many moving parts.
Right, but he can mimic other things by touching them.
Yeah, but he can do. Right? He can turn into blades, like swords or knives or something like that. Things that don't have moving parts.
But like the first movie, or the T-800 can mimic voices, right? T-1000 can also mimic appearance.
Yes. So the T-1000 can.
Which the T-800 can't.
He can morph himself into anything that is comparable in size.
Right. Yes. So we kind of get that full explanation. And then, as you were saying, there's a scene there where, as he is, screaming, like, help!
Yeah.
There's these two surfer dudes.
Mm-hmm.
They hear this, and because they have, they want to be helpful. They come over.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Arnold is still standing on one foot.
Yep. And at this point now, John realizes that he's there's no reason to be afraid or be yelling about this, right? So, they come over. It's like, hey, kid. They're like, hey, kid, you okay? And he's like, oh yeah, no, I forget what it is he says. He's like, he pisses him off somehow.
He's
How
like,
does he piss him off? What's the line?
um, oh, what was I forget what he says, but he pisses the guy off. He calls him a dipshit.
So he's like, I love how
He's
this adult calls this kid a
dipshit.
dipshit.
And meanwhile, the guys come over there, and John, like, he real quick motions to Arnold. He's like, put your leg down. He puts his leg down. But yeah, John says something to piss the guy off, to insult him for wanting to come over and help.
Oh wait, we got ourselves we got slightly ahead, right? So they go through the process, right? And then John wants to find out. Well, okay, well let's finish this part, then we'll fill in the gap in a minute. So anyway, continue.
So yeah, so he pisses the guy off, and the guy calls him a dipshit, and John's like, "You're calling moi a dipshit?"
I love that. He's called "Wah, a dipshit."
And he looks at Arnold, he's like, "Take care of this guy."
And for a Terminator, take care. It's kind of like, if you told a mob
terminate
hitman,
him,
take care of somebody.
Yeah. So the guy takes a swing at Arnold, and Arnold grabs him, throws him down onto the hood of a car, and pulls out his gun and points it at him.
He's about to actually execute him.
He's about to execute him. He points it at his head, and John pushes his arm out of the way just as he pulls the trigger. So he misses him. It's like,
these two guys are listed as Jock 1 and Jock 2.
Jock 1 and Jock 2.
Jock 1 is Jim Palmer, who actually has done a bunch of stunts. He's normally a stuntman.
Mm-hmm.
He did stunts in Guardians Volume 2.
Guardians 2.
He was also in Guardian. He was doing stunts for National Treasure. He did stunts for Twisters last year. So he's actually been in multiple movies that we have done or will do.
Yep.
Or movies we have talked about, I should say, probably.
Yes.
He was a stunt. Oh, he did stunts in John Wick.
Look at that.
He did stunts in Nebraska. I have not seen Nebraska.
He did stunts in Nebraska.
I'm surprised to learn that there are stunts in Nebraska.
Hey. There apparently are stunts in Nebraska.
He did stunts in Crystal Skull.
Huh.
He did stunts in Hulk. Oh, he did stunts in K-Pax.
Ooh. Oh, wait. Whoa. Was he doing the stunts for that banana that Kevin Spacey just bites right through the skin on?
Maybe he did.
Wow.
He also did stunts in Galaxy Quest. Anyway. Jock 2 is Gus Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Credited here as Gerard G. Williams. And he's mostly a stuntman as well. So, anyway. So, John thankfully saves this dude's life. He's like, he can't do that.
Yeah.
He can't just murder people. It's like, why not?
It's like, because you just can't.
Like, why? Just like a little kid. Why?
Mm-hmm.
So then he gives him basically a directive that he can't kill people anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
He can't kill people.
So, at least not
and
people.
I love when John tells him that, when he's like, you just can't kill people. I order you not to kill people. And Arnold just looks so sad. Terminator just looks so sad.
But I think this was actually,
And that's not the last time that sad look comes in this movie. We'll get to the other time later.
It is not the last time that comes into play.
But yeah, so then it cuts back to the mental hospital.
What before that, I think. So this happens in between. Is that he realized the Terminator tells him that he well, at first he wants to go. This is before the scenes of the jocks.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to go back to his foster parents. Like, they might be dicks.
Yeah,
but I gotta warn him. Again,
yeah, he
doesn't. Again, he doesn't want people to die.
Yeah, because the stuff with the jocks happens at night, and during the day.
This happens. This is like at the end of this is like at dusk, right? And so they go to a payphone, and I was like, "Oh, I don't have a quarter."
Do you have a quarter? And Arnold just hits the bottom of the payphone, and all this change just dumps out. He picks up a quarter, hands it to him.
He breaks the phone, but yeah, they can still call on it.
Yeah, I mean, it was just the coin hopper that he broke, so the phone still functions.
Anyway,
but yeah, he picks up a quarter and just hands it to him.
Anyway, so Janelle answers the phone. She's chopping veggies.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, I like this little part. Like, the first time you hear it, like, you hear dogs barking in the background.
Yeah, dogs barking in the background, in the backyard.
Right. And so Janelle's talking like, "Oh, where are you, John? We're really worried. Like, how about you come home? We can have dinner." And like right away, he knows something's up.
Yeah. Because
something's weird. Like, she's never this
nice. And the dog's barking in the background. And so Arnold takes the phone.
Terminator, he takes the phone. He's like, "What's the dog's name?"
And he's like, "Max." And he's like, and then we have him. He's talking with John's voice. He's like, "Hey, Janelle, how's Wolfie doing?"
Wolfie. And meanwhile, Todd's like, "What the matter with that damn dog?" He wants to shut up.
Mm-hmm. And so Janelle is like, "Oh, Wolfie's just fine, honey. Why don't you come on home?"
And she gets this look.
Yeah.
Like, and you hear this little.
Yeah. She kind of raises her arm
something's hit the
direction,
wall,
and
right?
You just hear this.
And you see her arm kind of go up. Yep. You don't see anything else. And then as she's talking about that, the camera slowly pans over, and all of a sudden you see her arm is silver, and this is blade, and this is carton of milk.
Well, no, before that, she's like, "Oh, Wolfie's just fine, honey." Yeah, while her arm's standing out, we don't see what she just did with her arm. They're like, Wolfie's fine, honey. Why don't you come on home for dinner? And Arnold's still on the phone, and he's like, "Your foster parents are dead." And he hangs up the phone, and then it cuts back, and it pans over, and
then you see the pans over, and it's gone through the carton of milk.
Yeah, the carton of milk that he was just taking a sip of.
By the way, we missed that line last week in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, where Ron tells her, like, "I hope your face ends up on a milk carton."
Yes. Yeah.
Anyway, so
yeah, then you see it's Janelle's arm is now a blade. Janelle's arm is now a giant blade, and it's sticking through the milk carton, through his mouth, through Todd's mouth,
it's gone into these
and through the back of his head.
Cabinets that are like right behind him.
The kitchen cabinets was the fridge.
I think it's a cabinet.
I thought it was a fridge.
It's a fridge. It might be the fridge.
Anyway, go into something.
She slowly retracts it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Poor dude. He didn't deserve that.
No, he may have been a dick, but he didn't deserve to be stabbed through the face.
She could have just gone on her way and just left, But then she goes to the backyard. She morphs back to Robert Patrick form, or the T-1000 morphs back to Robert Patrick form.
Yeah.
Goes to the dog, and then she sees that the dog's name is Max. Or he sees the dog's name is Max, and breaks the poor dog's neck.
Yeah. Poor dog.
Because if you remember from the Terminator movie, dogs are good at spotting.
Yes, they can smell a Terminator. And if this was John Wick's house, if that was John Wick's dog, This T-1000 would be dead
Would
already.
be completely fucked.
This T-1000 would be dead already.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Now, here's the thing. There's a scene earlier in this. I forgot to say. I'm trying to remember what it was. Where you had dogs barking around Robert Patrick, which I had not noticed before.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's early in the movie. Like, it's in the background. You can barely see it. There's a dog. But the dog's barking.
Yeah.
And he's around. The small things like this are really, really well done. Like, again, like, you know, I think more recently, there's plenty you can criticize James Cameron for.
Mm-hmm.
Even with Titanic, even like Titanic was a big achievement. There's plenty within that movie you can criticize, obviously. But there's his attention to detail.
There's no question about, you know, James Cameron. He has a history of, you know, improving filmmaking in just about every movie that he makes.
Yes.
You know, no matter if you like the movie or not, he has broken all kinds of ground with, you know, new techniques, new equipment, all this, you know, with his movies.
And again, like his attention to detail too, even beyond just like techniques and effects. He storyboards his movies.
Mm-hmm.
And like, if there's something that's kind of slightly in the background, like most things are not in this movie, his movies accidentally.
No.
So, yeah. Anyway, like, you know, I would argue after True Lies, like he's gone in a different direction because like it's been Titanic and Avatars.
Yeah.
And you know, like Titanic's an interesting movie because it's technically an amazing film to look at.
Mm-hmm.
You know, unfortunately, some of the story is just not as good.
No.
So, even though the end, once the ship starts sinking, like, yeah, I mean, it gets kind of exciting.
Yeah.
But you got Billy Zane running around, being Billy Zane.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to T2. So, we cut back to the hospital. Now it's like at night, and you have these cops trying to talk to Sarah.
Well, no, they're not trying to talk to her. They're carrying her back to her room because she's been sedated.
Well, they talked to her first, right? Because there's two cops were saying like, oh, maybe this is part of the scenes where there's like from the director's cut, since I was watching the director's cut. And it was saying like, oh yeah, like this guy, like, you know, this is the same, you know, 11 years ago, like he went into this.
Oh yeah, no, this wasn't this earlier part of the scene earlier though?
There's like 3 scenes within the hospital earlier. I can't remember the exact order.
I think this was part of that because this was part of Silverman's presentation about her.
Is it?
When he was showing the video from the police station.
Because I think the scene. Well, no, he's showing the video from the police station, right? Yes.
Oh wait, this is later because this is when this guy showed up again. This is clearly the guy from the police station in 1984.
Right. They're showing the video of the police station and then video from the mall.
Yeah, that's right.
And then they say and then he said like the step parents are dead.
Mm-hmm.
And your son is missing. Right. Oh, and this is when she gets the paperclip is here.
Yeah.
At this scene is when she gets the paperclip.
Yeah.
Right. And she just kind of casually palms it.
Mm-hmm.
And says
she pulls
nothing
it off
else.
the folder.
Tries to appear catatonic.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when they then bring her back to her little her room.
Mm-hmm. And they put her, they strap her down on the bed.
Cell. Right? And then you get a dude.
Yeah, they strap her down on the bed. And the dude that straps her down, then before he leaves the room, he just licks her right across the face.
Like an ice cream cone.
Yeah.
Right? So apparently in the script, how it describes his character is that he's got the charm of a rattlesnake.
I wonder if his name's Buck.
That's who I thought of. Like, even though I like this movie's before,
This movie's way before that
Kill
one.
Bill. But then, when I've watched it again, like after that, he's always reminded me of Buck. Buck. And
And
I'm
I
here
like to party.
to.
TV edit. That's another one of the great TV edits. My name is Buck, and I like to party.
That's an interesting party in your pants there, Buck. Right up there with the Alps and Melon Farmer.
And Melon Farmer.
Melon Farmer.
What about monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane?
There's also that. Yes. So, John finally is able to convince the T-800 that they got to go get his mom. Like that.
Yeah.
This is what's going to happen. I don't care.
So this is at the end of the scene earlier with the jocks.
And like, yeah. And he said like, no, like the T-1000 after, killing your, foster parents, he's going to realize that the next place he might go most logically would be to your mom. So like, that's not really a possibility. He's like, I don't care. I'm in charge. This is what we're going to get her.
You're going to go help me break my mom out of the mental hospital. And so, yeah, but after the guy had licked her, then, he left the room and she all of a sudden, snaps out of her fake catatonic state. And she has the paperclip in her mouth and she spits it out down near her hand and she grabs it. She's able to get to the buckle for the straps and she's able to, bend the paperclip enough to be able to pick the lock. Picks the lock on the buckle and then is able to get unstrapped from the bed and gets up and goes out to try to escape.
Yep. And she, she's going to hide in like a janitor's closet. That's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll kind of get to the rest of that soon. There's also, there is a scene in here, which is one of the, probably the most significant deleted scene that happens in this. It's somewhere in here. I can't remember exactly kind of where it's placed in, but this is where she realizes that she needs to escape to get to John. Is that she has a dream, right? And she wakes up and Kyle Reese is in her room.
Yeah.
And he's like, wake up, soldier. It's like, John's in danger. And she's looking at us and she's, we don't know if she's had dreams with Kyle in the last decade or not, right? But he seems so real to her in this sequence, right? Again, we got Michael Biehn again, right? And and he says John, he's in danger. Like they're after him now. And he gives a line like there's no fate but what we make, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they hug. They have it's a long embrace. It's a dream. It's a dream. That theoretically could be emotional catharsis.
There could be. Maybe they just cut the dream short. But maybe the dream actually went longer. And there was emotional catharsis.
And then they stop embracing, and then like she's just kind of hugging the air, and she looks out, and he's in the hallway. It's like John needs you, right? And she starts running after him. She gets to the end of this long corridor, and she walks outside, and there's a playground. She sees kids playing on it, and she starts screaming at it, and there's kind of a bright flash, and that's it, and she wakes up. Right? So that's kind of the scene. It's prior to this, because that's kind of where it kind of gives her like, okay, like I need to get out of here. And then she like palms the paperclip.
Yep.
And then we have everything else that happens, right?
So
it's nighttime, right?
It's nighttime, and she's out of her room. And she goes.
The T-1000 gets there first, I think, right? Because they show up a little bit as
So the
some
T-1000
of the sequences that are going
first.
on in the war are happening.
Yeah, the T-1000 gets there first, because then we have the let's see, where is he? We have Lewis the guard, played by Don Stanton. He is going over to get a cup of coffee from the coffee machine.
Yep. And he plays like a cop or security guard.
He's a guard. Yeah, he's a security guard. And so he's kind of talking with a night nurse, right? And he goes over to get his coffee, and he walks over. Like, the floor is a black and white checker pattern of the tile.
Yes.
And as he's facing the coffee machine, then we see the center of the floor where he was just standing kind of, morph up.
Yeah, morph into up, right? And I got like a long cylinder kind of going up, and it slowly forms into a shape.
And the shape it forms into is Lewis the guard. And now here's the interesting part. So they got twins to play these guys.
Yes.
Don and Dan Stanton. Don plays Lewis the guard. Dan plays Lewis the T-1000.
This is one of the little things about the movie I really, really love. Right? Is that there's plenty of ways where you could use the same actor to do this. But I like that they got twins to do it.
So do I. So
like he gets one of those little, it's a coffee from a vending machine. It's one of those cheap cups that's got the cards around it where you're supposed to try to get, you look on the bottom to see what hand you actually have, right?
Yeah, because the last card is on the bottom of the cup, and he looks up.
Right, he looks at, oh, full house. It's my lucky day.
Yep, and then he turns around, and he's standing there facing himself. And the T-1000, Lewis, just picks up his arm, just picks up his hand, points his finger right at Lewis's face, and turns his pointer finger into a knife, into like a dagger, and just sticks it right through his face.
Yep.
And kills Lewis.
And the next thing you see Lewis now, or the T-1000 as Lewis, pull him into this other closet and leave him there. Yep.
Meanwhile, Sarah has gone and located the guy that licked her.
He sees the room is empty. Right?
Oh,
and
that's
she
right.
comes up from behind him.
That's right.
And knocks him out. And takes his keys.
Yeah, takes his keys and his nightstick.
Yes. And she goes into the janitor's closet, and she gets some like liquid plumber or something like that. She gets a syringe and she fills it up.
Well, first she doesn't fill it up yet. She gets the liquid plumber and the syringe, then goes into Dr. Silverman's office.
That's right.
And he's like, what are you doing?
Common area there. Yeah, that's right.
And she breaks his arm. And then she just plunges the syringe into the syringe into the side of the bottle of liquid plumber, and she just fills up the syringe. She fills it up. And he's like, what are you going to do with that?
Thick-ass syringe.
He's like, what are you going to do with that? And next thing you know, she's walking up toward the security area. She's got Silberman in one arm, and the syringe stuck into his neck with the other hand, and she's threatening to inject him with the liquid plumber and kill him if they don't let her out. And so they, this lady kind of like orderly or security guard kind of opens everything up. Right. And now Mark Christopher Lawrence comes in now. This is like his second scene. And right. He kind of lays down his little, everything. They get on the ground. And they walk through. Right. They're proceeding through because she's trying to get out through the different layers. Right. And as they get through the one station, right. They hit the alarm. It starts going off, right? And this alerts the T-1000 because he's searching the corridors for Sarah Connor. Yeah. Right. So meanwhile, back there, right? So they've commandeered a station wagon, right? Yes. The station wagon they were commandeer. And they pull up to the guard station outside, and
right?
The security guard out there.
Yes.
He confronts them because he knows they're not supposed to be there. They obviously are not supposed to be there. And so he tries to stop him. Arnold pulls out his gun that he got from the biker, shoots the guy in both legs. He drops down on the ground. They just walk right past him. And John is like, what did you just do? You just shot him. He's like, he'll live.
He's gonna limp for the rest of his life.
I mean, John never said you can't shoot people. He just said don't kill them. So there are plenty of people in this movie that Arnold shoots but doesn't kill.
That's right. Whether it be the gun or a smoke bomb. We'll get to the smoke bombs.
Yes, we'll get to the smoke grenades. Yeah. So,
but as they're getting, they get into the ward somehow too, and they get up the elevator as she's trying to escape.
Mm-hmm.
And now you got the classic kind of Terminator music kind of going.
Yep. And then it goes in slow motion as the elevator door opens. It goes into slow motion as she sees Arnold walk out of the elevator. Because she's seen him before.
Yes.
And maybe this is where the "Come With Me If You Want to Live" is.
This is where it comes in, yes.
It wasn't earlier. But yeah, so...
And she stops abruptly, and she kind of falls a little bit. And that's when he reaches out his hand and says...
And then, because then, he walks out of the elevator, then John comes right behind him and comes around.
He's like, Mom! Right? And, he says the line. But then she starts to go back a bit. Say it again.
Come with me if you want to live.
So she starts to go back a little bit. And then she sees the T-1000, the other side of these bars.
Yep.
And he walks straight
through the bars. And
then he's kind of kept his arm behind as this happens.
1991. Again, this was, even now it holds up. This is amazing special effects. Especially in 91. He just walks right through the bars, like morphs around the bars as he's walking through them.
The only thing he forgets is that he's got a gun.
Yeah, he's holding a gun.
A machine.
And the gun.
And that's on the other side of the bars.
And gets stuck between the bars.
On the bar. And then he just...
So he just turns it a little bit and pulls it through the bars. Pulls it between the bars.
And meanwhile, Dr. Sullivan, he's no longer being held. He's sitting in the middle of all of this.
And he's like, it's happening again.
And so, now, the Terminator T-800 just shoots the T-1000 enough to, again, blow a couple holes in him. And he sits there. That's the thing about the T-1000s. Like he can't absorb multiple shots in a row.
Yeah.
Like the T-800.
Yeah, no, because his body's much more flexible and much more, soft, much softer.
Soft and malleable.
So, if he takes, a high caliber round, or if he, a shotgun blast, or, something bigger, then it will knock him off his feet. It'll knock him back. It'll slow him down a little bit.
We'll get there. So it's enough for them to get down to the elevator. The three of them.
Mm-hmm.
So now we got Sarah, we got John, we got the T-800. They're in the elevator. They get in this elevator, and the door's about to close, but it's enough time for the T-1000 to, run back down time, and he kind of throws out his arms, and they become these blades, and they hook in, the opposite side of the doors and pry it open a little bit.
Yep.
And of course... Arnold's right there.
Yep.
On him again.
Yep.
The elevator starts going. They take the elevator down to the garage where they parked, right? And then the T-1000 drops down, and now he's on the roof of the elevator, and he's shooting down at him.
Yep.
And he got Arnold. He's got his the Winchester still there, and then there's
and he's shooting back up at him.
He's got the pistol. He got a pistol too when he was
he
at
got
the biker bar. It was a 1911 hybrid, right?
It was a 1911.
And so that's what Sarah then takes off of him, and so she's shooting up with that.
And that becomes Sarah's gun for the rest of the movie.
Yes. Well, she uses some other guns too.
Yes, she does.
But they're able to get out, and they get back into the station wagon, and they start driving off, and then again,
so Arnold's driving.
Robert Patrick,
the T-800 is driving.
T-1000, he's doing his thing again.
Except this isn't a station wagon.
What are you?
This is a sedan.
Yes, you're right. This is Dan the sign. That's right. Yes.
Yeah. So they're the T-800 is driving. Sarah's in the passenger seat. John is in the back seat. And basically, the T-800 and Sarah have their guns, and John is on reload duty. So he's loading up the magazines for him, and handing them back to Sarah or the T-800, whichever one needs them. And meanwhile, the T-1000 is just running, chasing this car, and he turns his arms into hooks, and he was able to hook one into the trunk of the sedan so that he can hang on. And
I love how they just start dragging him.
Yeah.
Because first he doesn't have enough leverage to get back up.
Yeah. And so the T-800 is able to shoot him in the arm with the shotgun, and it basically rips his hand off the hook.
Yeah, and he just stumbles off.
So, he falls back, and the hook is still in the trunk of the car. So John really quick grabs it and throws it on the road behind him.
Throws it off. Yep. T-1000, heals of all the different, injuries there, and he
just walks up.
Walking up. There's a small piece of his foot that's not there, and then
his foot's there, but his foot's there. His whole foot's there, but the little piece of hook, turns back into liquid metal and just absorbs back into his foot.
And then they drive off
to complete himself. But yeah, and they drive off.
Now we don't see the T-1000 for a little while now.
No.
He's out of the picture for this little middle section of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we've had our two big sequences to start the movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now we're going into a small, quieter time of the movie.
Yeah.
So they drive to this abandoned gas station, service station, right? And they're helping to kind of repair the T-800. And even Sarah, Sarah first, she's taking some gunshots. Mm-hmm. So they're sewing her up, right? Yeah. The T-800 is sewing her up, right? Because they can't go to a hospital.
Mm-hmm. And so this is when the T-800 is explaining, that he's a learning computer. Where, he's a machine, but his CPU is such that, the longer he spends with humans, the more he learns about them, the more he is able to pick up on their traits and their, just understand them better.
So, here's a good example. We should have brought this up. So as they are driving off, Sarah is chastising John, saying it was really dangerous for you to come and get me. I can take care of myself. Right? You are too important to endanger yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And John's just saying, so one of the scenes he had with Todd, he shows a picture of his mom, which is the picture that gets taken of her at the end of the first movie.
Yeah.
So that John has this photo of her that we see taken at the end of the first movie.
Yeah.
Right? And he kind of just tells
the
Todd,
same picture that he eventually gives to Kyle.
I'm supposed to be this, she's crazy. I'm supposed to be this great warrior, and she had me going with all these people that run guns and all these places, and I learned how to fight, but she's just nuts. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And now he believes it's all true, obviously.
Yeah.
Right? But it's like, no, Mom, I had to save you. I love you. Right? And he's crying in the back seat. This is after they've gotten away from the T-1000.
Yeah.
Before they get to the service station, right? And then, the 800, he's looking in the mirror and he sees John crying.
Yeah, he's like, why do you cry?
Well, he doesn't say no, why do you cry? Yeah, he's like, what's wrong with your eyes?
Yeah, what's wrong with your eyes? Yeah. You're leaking.
And then it's later.
Yeah, it's later when
in
he's like,
this
why do you
middle
cry?
section where he's going to ask that.
Yeah.
But this is the learning part, because like at the end, I don't know why you cry. We'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
But so they're talking, and it's like, but what's the reason why they want to take out the chip so he can they take out his computer chip, the CPU?
I think it's so that is that one damaged, or was it just so that you can show it to him? Because the other chip that ends up in the movie is the one from the original Terminator, from the first movie.
Oh, so no, it's preset to read-only mode due to Skynet's paranoia towards other machines' intelligence. Yeah. It doesn't want him to get more intelligent.
Yeah, so
than Skynet.
Yeah, so that's when they. Yeah, they have to take it out so they can activate it. So basically,
John says, "Well, how about we reset it?"
Yeah,
right, and to improve his intellectual usefulness, which we will see happens.
Mm-hmm. Right? So he's truly learning.
So they take it out, and then like things go black temporarily. Like this is where the effect, like these effects here.
Oh yeah,
right. This use between using a real actor and then combining how much he seamlessly just put together him and the puppet and the makeup. Like this, it's Puppet and Arnold.
Yeah.
And they blend the two together and edit it really seamlessly.
Yeah.
Right. And so, as they're talking, right, again, it's like an old abandoned service station, right? And Sarah gets a little chip, right? And they're talking, and then she sees this like rubber mallet, and she puts it down on this like table,
and she's
ready to smash it with it. And John sees it and stops her, right? And he says, like, if I'm supposed to be this great leader, shouldn't you trust that when I'm older and I send him back to protect me, that should mean something, right? I'm gonna be this powerful decision. Yeah. My decisions will be important, right?
And so she doesn't smash it.
Yep. So she just smashes the table right next to it, right? And they put it back in.
And he powers back up.
Yeah, so everything go okay? Like, yeah. Mom just tried to murder you.
And then he's like, E equals MC squared. Pythagorean theorem. Geometry.
What I like next, though, is like, she spends the rest of the night, like, she's just kind of looking at him. Right? And he is just like at the, like, kind of like the office area of this old service station. Right? And he still has his Winchester here, and he has it over one shoulder. And he's just standing stoically. Like, he's standing all night like a sentinel.
Yep.
Scanning the area for any danger. And goes the next morning. They leave. Right? Then they get to another service station, and they fill up the car they're in with some oil. Need some oil, right? And there's these two kids playing. They're like playing like they're shooting each other. And
that's in Mexico. When they get to Mexico, then the two kids are playing. Yeah.
Okay.
So they drive down to Mexico, and these
they don't get to Enrique's yet. They're watching two kids, and John's like, yeah, like, we're not going to make it, are you? And he's like, yeah, it's in your nature to destroy yourselves.
Yeah, because these two kids are playing with guns. They're like, I got you. No, you didn't. Yeah.
just like kids
arguing. Yeah.
And then Arnold, that's when decide, not Arnold. That's when John decides to teach the T-800 how to talk and
Mm-hmm.
speak.
Yeah.
You can't just say affirmative.
Yeah,
You gotta say,
because he says, "Do you understand?" He's like, affirmative. He's like, you can't say that. You can't just say affirmative. You got to say no problemo.
Well, I guess they're driving when they're talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and instead of saying, you can say hasta la vista, baby.
Yeah, when you waste somebody, you can say something cool like hasta la vista, baby. Hasta la vista,
like, when
baby.
you waste somebody, even though he gave him an order not to waste him.
Like, if you really want to shine them on, then it's hasta la vista, baby.
So, but then they're at that little service station, and he's like, "Oh yeah, but you also got to learn how to smile."
I love it.
It's like smile. I was like, "What do you mean?" It's like, you see that guy over there? He's smiling. This is guy on the phone. He's kind of laughing.
He's like,
and he scans him. He finds him mid laugh.
Yeah, and then he tries to imitate it. He's got this goofy grin on his face. He's like opens up his lips and shows his teeth.
And John's like, maybe you should work on that one in the mirror.
Then this is the why do you cry part.
Yes. Like, why do you cry?
He's like, why do you cry? He's like,
it's cry normal.
It's like, when it hurts. And he's like, pain causes it? Like, no, not really. It's just, you just cry,
Well, obviously, John's never been kicked in the balls.
Yeah. So,
they continue on.
Then they get to Enrique's.
One of Sarah's friends, when she's trying to learn how to be this great fighter and help John be this great fighter.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Enrique is played by Castillo Guerrera, who not many credits, but if you're familiar with The Usual Suspects, he is the prisoner on the boat that says that Kaiser Soze is here.
Mm-hmm.
Kaiser Soze. So, not a large role there, but an important role, and he doesn't really have a large role here, but it's an important one. When they drive up to his little, it's
a trailer,
like a compound.
It's a compound, but he lives in a trailer on the compound.
He lives in a trailer, right? And they show up, there's nobody around, and they get out, and then Sarah gets out first, tells them to wait there. And they kind of come out, and everything's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's like, they talk about how, we saw, we've seen you and your friend here on the TV. Right? And John calls this is my Uncle Bob.
Uncle Bob.
Hey, Uncle Bob. And he gives him a handle of tequila.
Yeah, he gives him.
It's like a peace pipe offering.
Yep.
Right? And the T-800 has no idea what to do with that. And so he just looks at him. And Sarah just takes it instead and just takes a big old swig. And again, this is the difference of Sarah from Terminator and this. Here she's now ready to be bad ass.
Yep.
I will shoot anything. I will just chug tequila from a handle.
The badass Sarah Connor that everybody knows. When you mention Sarah Connor, this is the Sarah Connor that you think of first.
And I think what we forgot to mention was during the drive towards Enrique's, the T-800 talks about how Skynet is created through Cyberdyne, right?
Yeah, Cyberdyne systems.
who the man responsible is Miles
Dyson.
Dyson, right? And we actually have
Not
seen
the
a scene of him.
vacuum guy.
No, not the vacuum guy. Herbert Hoover said here, the vacuum guy?
No,
That's
the
Home
president.
Alone 2. We don't have that episode. So we actually had a scene with Miles Dyson somewhere within all this where he's working there at Cyberdyne Systems, right? And some guy shows up like, oh, yeah, no, they said they need this thing. It's like, okay. So we see him walk up to the security stand, right? And he greets the security guard, and they each have a key. And they put it in the wall. They count to 3, and they turn it. And they walk in, and he opens up a couple things within this highly secured vault. And one is a broken computer chip.
A broken chip that looks just like the
other,
one they were pulling out of Arnold's head. And then put back in.
And the other
is an arm.
Is the arm that we saw that was trying to grab Sarah.
Yep. In the first movie.
At the end of the first movie.
Yep.
Right. So it's all we've seen of Miles so far. Right. And he's played by Joe Morton. So we mentioned him earlier in the episode, but Joe Morton plays him. Right. And so, so during the drive, they also kind of get Arnold, or the T-800 kind of gives kind of the dump of the things that happen on that end of things to lead towards the creation of Skynet.
Yep.
So, because, Sarah just plainly asked about it. So, now they're on the compound, right? And Sarah has come for this cache of weapons that she's entrusted to Enrique.
So, Sarah goes off to prepare some stuff, and she sends John and the T-800 on weapon duty. And so they go and they, open up this underground cache of weapons. And just walk down there, this hole in the ground that's been dug out, basically like a storm shelter kind of thing. And there's just weapons all over the place in there. It's just full of weapons. And Arnold walks up the back and he picks up a minigun. And he holds it, and John looks at him. He's like, "Oh, that's definitely you."
The T-800 smiles.
Yes, the T-800. He smirks, like he does a little half grin, showing that he's learned. He's learned how to smile. But yeah, you see the left side of his mouth just like curl up into a grin.
Again, he's now learning. So he can copy things and not just copy them. He can copy that and then learn how to use it properly.
Yeah.
Right? It's just hilarious. They're looking around, they pick up a few things. At the end, he sees a minigun.
Yep.
And he looks at it. Picks it up.
Miles. So then we have, Sarah is talking to Enrique, and John and the T-800 are out by the truck. And maybe this was right before they got put on weapon duty. But yeah, they're by the truck, and John is teaching him how to
high five.
How to like give me 5 kind of thing, right? And so he's like, okay, now you put your hand out, and he smacks his hand, and then he's like, now you do that too. You hit my hand, and he hits him, and he hits him a little hard, and John's like,
you see like,
so okay, let's try that again, up high. So they do a high
down
five.
Low.
It's like down low, too slow. And then this is the other time. So when he does the too slow, the look on the T-800's face, he looks so betrayed.
I want to murder you, but I can't.
He looks so betrayed. Looks like he's about to learn why you cry. But,
Sarah's looking at this, and she's kind of gonna cry too.
and then she's,
Right?
there's kind of a voiceover.
And she goes, yeah, it goes into her voiceover. She's like, oh yeah, this thing will never say it's too busy to play with them. Never like raise its hand, never scream, never yell. Right? And it's funny because I'll get to this point in a minute, right? Because you're balancing this aspect of machines versus humans, and here's this machine that can be a perfect father, right? But it's the creation of trying to find the perfect machine that then has caused everything as well.
Yeah.
Right? And there's the human element. But the ability, again, but that's the thing, like, it gets back to the chip. It's like it's limiting the chip, so it can't learn as much to truly understand those human feelings.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, sure, the more time he spends with humans, the more he's going to learn about them, but that doesn't necessarily make him human.
Doesn't make him human.
But he may learn about humans, but it doesn't necessarily let him learn exactly how to be a human.
But have certain empathy towards them.
Yeah.
Is different. Can a machine have empathy? And that's a question. Like, if a machine can decide that to try to limit empathy, like that's a certain thought process there. There's a lot you can go into that. We don't need it anyway. So she's sitting back there still, and then she's starting to carve something into this picnic bench, right? And she falls asleep again. She's a dream.
And this time, it's the same dream she was having earlier about the park.
But now it's graphic.
Yeah. Now she's, in her dream, she's standing against a chain link fence around the perimeter of the park. It's a chain link fence
that's like, separating this playground.
And she's looking in, and she sees her younger self.
Kids play. And she's watching the younger version of herself.
Yeah, so basically...
She was played by her Linda Hamilton's sister.
Yes. So basically her... shortly after the first Terminator movie.
Yes.
With John at the park. John's climbing up on the jungle gym, and she's, standing there next to him. And yeah, this is played by Linda Hamilton's twin sister. And, that way they can both be on screen at the same time without having to do any camera tricks. And then in the background, you see a nuclear explosion go off. You see that mushroom cloud. And she starts yelling to her younger self, trying to get her to, to get out of there, And then all of a sudden, the explosion makes it to the park.
It's kind of like Independence Day. You're seeing this entire explosion consume the city.
Yeah.
And it's going towards it, and it hits the park.
And everything just bursts into flames.
Everything, including women and children.
Including women and children. They'll burst into flames.
And yes, they all burst into flames. They're screaming, and they have women and children in flames.
And charred and all this.
And charred and agonized. It's agonizing.
Yeah.
And then
it shows Sarah against the fence. She's still holding on to it, and she bursts into flames.
And now it's just her skeleton just holding on to this fence.
Yes. Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru style. and then, this wind just comes by and just shatters everything into dust.
Shatters everybody. Now everyone's just dust.
And blowing away in the dust. And then she wakes up.
Dust in the wind.
All we are is dust in the wind, dude. But yeah, so as soon as, she explodes into dust, then she wakes up and she sees what she has carved into the picnic table, and it says "No fate."
No fate.
And so she takes the knife that she was carving in, just sticks it in the table, and gets up, walks over to a station wagon, and gets in there and drives off.
So meanwhile, before this has happened, I guess we forgot to mention that The T-800 and John were helping to work on like a starter
Yeah.
for a SUV that Enrique had. Like he had one there, but like it needed like a lot of repairs to get going. And the T-800, because he's smart and mechanical and knows how to fix things,
he can fix it.
He's able to fix it just in a couple hours.
So.
Right? But yeah, you see her now. She's got like this black tank top on. She's got these sunglasses. She's ready to go, right? And John sees her leaving. He's like, "Mom, what are you doing?" It's like she is not even paying attention.
She puts a rifle in the station wagon, gets in the driver's seat, drives off.
You can see she's got this singular purpose, right? And Enrique just says like, "Oh yeah, well, she said that, she had something to do. Like you should just, continue on with the outers, something like that." So he says it kind of briefly. Yeah. And she even tells him, Enrique, before all this, that after we leave, you're going to have to get out of here too, in case anyone comes after us.
Yeah.
So what's interesting, so Enrique, within the expanded lore of the series, is in a bunch of different things, right? The original storyboards, and again, this gets back into, we've talked about this before with certain things, is like you have certain actors that are kind of mentioned but are never that seriously considered.
Yeah.
There's certain story ideas. So there was a storyboard where the T-1000 does come after them and kills Enrique. But that was never filmed. It was never really got much off the ground. Right?
Good, because I like Enrique.
I like Enrique too. I agree. I like when when they first get there, Enrique has some his wife. He's got wife, and she's happy to see John and Sarah. They give hugs.
Yep.
And there's the kids, and there's a little toddler's like 2. He's kind of just doing his little toddler.
He's wearing overalls. The teenager just reaches down, grabs the back of the kid's overalls, and just picks him up and stares at him.
He just stares at him. I'm glad we didn't forget that part because I love that part.
Me too.
So they go after her right now, but she's on the mission.
Well, first they go over to where she was sitting at the picnic table.
Oh, that's right.
And they see No Fate with the knife stuck in the table, and John pulls the knife out and like, no fate.
And he starts saying,
no fate, but what we make.
That's something my mom taught me.
That's something my mom taught me.
Well, actually,
no,
it's like
my father made her memorize it. The whole thing goes, the future is not set. There's no fate but what we make for ourselves.
Ourselves?
The way he says it. There's no fate but what we make for ourselves.
Into my anus.
Lifeline exercise cards. Yeah, so then that's when
she's gonna try to change the future.
Like, she's gonna try to change the future. She's gonna go kill Dyson. She does not like his vacuums.
So they start to drive off.
She prefers her vacuums to lose suction.
Oh my. So they start going off. Right? And as a driver, Terminator's T-800's like, we gotta be careful, like the T-1000 might think of the same thing. And he's like, I don't care, I gotta go get my mom. Right? And I like how then we get her mom, the mom, she's like, Sarah, she's there, it's nighttime. Well, before this, kind of interspersed, we get another scene with Dyson. Right?
Man, and
it's a daytime. It's a daytime. And they live in a nice ass house. They live
in a real nice house.
This is Los Angeles, right? This is one of those houses in Los Angeles that is like overlooks the cliffs towards the ocean and has like a cliffside pool.
Yeah. It's got a nice house.
Like it's nice.
Which I mean, with being like one of the high ranking,
he's like a project, like one of the highest project managers within Cyber. Anyway, so it makes sense.
Money.
He's got a lot of money, but right now he's at home and he's a workaholic. He's still really busy at developing.
So he tells his wife. It's like evening. It's not daytime. It's like evening.
Well, the first is afternoon because it's the he's got to take them to Raging Waters.
Oh yeah.
He promised to take his family to Raging Waters, right? And so he's just working there. He's away. He's working on his computer, and his wife's sitting poolside.
Which I think that's part of the extended cut.
Okay.
I think that's part of the director's cut. Because
so
I don't remember that being in the one that I watched the other night.
That's right. It is. That's right. I remember reading that in the past, looking at the notes. Yeah, so she goes to him and she's like, yeah, well, he's like, you promised to take the kids. He's got a daughter and a son to Raging Waters. It's like, yeah, but no, I'm this close to figuring all this out. They can just imagine like this plane that can run on a computer, and that the pilot, would be a pilot that never gets tired, or a surgeon that's never hung over, or he goes through this list of things, right?
I love how he uses the hangover as the example for the surgeon. A surgeon that's never hung over.
Like this could solve all this. It's like that's great. But guess what? I didn't marry this computer. I married you and this and that. And so he finally decides to turn it off, and he takes the kids to Raging Waters. Right. And then we cut to the evening, like you're saying. Now he's back working again.
Yeah.
Right.
And what his I like son about this, is driving a remote control car around the house.
This is a nice nod to the first Terminator movie, right before one of the Sarah Connors gets her head blown off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No one's head gets blown off here, by the way. But I like this. You see Sarah Connor. She's just kind of coolly coming. She's got her rifle. She's got the scope. She's going to snipe him. What I love about this, like all of a sudden, like she's changed.
Yeah.
Right? She's no longer just a nice, naive little, 20-something. She's not the hard ass. She's not the kind of the caring mother. No, she's
the cold-blooded murderer.
She's a Terminator now.
She is a Terminator now. She's a human Terminator.
And the only reason she doesn't terminate someone is because that remote control car.
Yeah, so she's got like a laser sight on the rifle that she's using, and you see it go up his back and onto the back of his head. And his son's, driving the remote control car around and runs right into his ankle.
Mom's saying, like, you're supposed to be in bed.
And it's like, just a few more minutes, Mom. And they're all glad that she gave him that couple more minutes. Because the remote control car runs right into his foot, and he kind of bends down,
moves his head down.
He kind of bends down, and then she shoots the computer monitor where his head was, and so he kind of dives down and around the back of the desk, and she's just shooting. She's just unloading in there,
full on barrage of bullets, and she runs out, and then she just starts to have to. She approaches the house, right? Like he's told the son to get down. It's just him that's kind of like in this back room, and he's looking out the back door, and she's just robotically walking up. Like she looks like this killing machine now.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, she has gone full Terminator mode, and
then the boy, as she gets in there and she's about to point the pistol down at him. Or the
she was able to shoot him in the shoulder.
That's right. Yes.
And so he's laying on the ground, and
she's about to shoot him, and then the little boy jumps in
front of him.
Daddy!
It's like, don't shoot my daddy.
Big blue kid.
And then that's when she realizes what she's done.
Yes, and she just shrinks down and starts kind of crying.
Yeah, she realizes that she has become the thing that she's been trying to fight.
Yes. And you have Dyson, his wife, and son there, and they're kind of embracing each other. They're crying, they're scared, and she's just kind of like, again, in this self-realization. And that's then when you get John and the T-800 that come in.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, Mom, right?
It's okay, we're here.
It's just like interesting juxtaposition of these two trios.
Yeah, and then I love her response to John showing up, though, because then she's got tears in her eyes, and she sees him there, and she's like, "You came to stop me," and he's like, "Yes," and then she just hugs him.
Yeah, they hug. A mother-son catharsis, not emotional catharsis.
Not emotional catharsis, but. But yeah, so then John tells the T-800 to go check on him to check on
That's
Dyson.
Right.
And so he's kind of just looming over him. Dyson's wife is sitting there, and the T-800 gets her hand and puts it on Dyson's shoulder. He's like,
put pressure on it.
Yeah, he's like, put pressure here. It'll stop the bleeding.
And they're wondering what's going on. It's like, well, we gotta tell them. We gotta show them.
So he hands the T-800 a knife.
Stranger, even if the stranger's like, 11 years old, take their son to his room. It's like,
yes.
I think the son's name is Danny. He's like, Danny, show me your room.
Yeah, show me your room.
And they're okay with it. And then that's when the T-800, he gets out a knife. He puts up his left arm, and he starts cutting into his arm.
Yep. Cuts all the way around his
and
forearm. Meanwhile,
and
then he cuts.
This couple's already been through this trauma of being shot at.
Yeah. So then on the inside of his arm, he just cuts from that cut that he made all the way around, just straight up to the heel of his hand.
So and the watching him start taking off the skin of his arm
off, pulls the skin of his arm off like a glove, and he's just got this robot arm underneath. And he just
Dyson's like, oh, I've seen that before. Right, and they have a whole little sit down. Now, John's in the room now, and the three of them are talking.
Where did the T-800 get his glove?
I don't know.
Because he's wearing a glove now. Maybe.
O.J. Simpson.
But he's wearing a glove now. To cover up the robot hand. Because his sleeve is now pulled down also.
Right. No. Yeah, yes. So he gives, we don't see it, but he gives a whole exposition to the couple. And at the end, Dyson's like, I'm going to be sick.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be sick. I'm going to throw up. And then he's like, well, I'll quit tomorrow. I'll quit my job tomorrow. There's no way I'm going to finish this project now.
He's like, no, someone else just pick up your research. So just hire somebody else to do it.
It's like, then we're going to need to destroy everything then. All the files and everything I have here, then everything that's at the lab.
It's all Cyberdyne. I can get you in. I know somebody.
Yeah.
So, meanwhile, Sarah, it's funny. Sarah's kind of come back to being a little bit disgusted about this. She's just kind of sitting there on the counter smoking a cigarette. She's like, you think you're so smart and special. You create all these things that destroy, but you never actually create anything. You've never felt a life grow inside you.
His wife
John is like, Mom, that's not helping.
His wife has felt the life grow inside her. They have kids.
She's felt something else inside her.
Dyson.
I'm sorry.
So
this is what happens when we get to 2.5 hours into recording.
So they go to the lab. They go to Cyberdyne.
I really hope he got a chance to say goodbye, not to spoil things.
Yeah. So they go to Cyberdyne. And
I love how it's actually kind of a minimally secure building.
Yeah.
Considering everything that they do.
Yeah. And everything that's kept in there. But yeah, so they walk into the main lobby, and There's one security guard sitting at the desk. Carl.
And I love how, because again, like, he's obviously the overnight guy, right? So Dyson might see him in the morning when he shows up.
Yeah.
Maybe he goes in a few times overnight, after hours, right? He's like, oh yeah, like, I wanted to show my friends that are in town.
Yeah, these are my friends that are in town. I just wanted to show them the lab.
Because Joe Warren's friends with Linda Hamilton and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. And some kid. Some 10-year-old kid. And so...
And then he's like, oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Dyson, but we need special,
Yeah,
I need special higher-up approval.
Yeah. So she says this is the middle of the night.
Yes. Like, it looks like he kind of wants to let them up, but he's going to say, I can't do it.
I got to obey the rules.
But then the T-800 says he insists.
Yeah, the T-800 and Sarah both pull guns on him. And stop him before he can hit the silent alarm under the table, under the desk. And then we don't really see what happened to him. But they go on, and the other security guard is coming into the room and sees the desk empty.
The desk is unmanned.
He's like,
come on,
can't do man. You know you can't just leave the desk like this.
He goes into the bathroom, and he figures the guy's taking a shit.
And we see the guy tied up and handcuffed to one of the urinals. Laying on the ground. Laying on the floor.
Right? And so he goes back, and he hits the silent alarm.
Yep.
Before he unties the guy. Right? And then we get a little scene where they're back there and they're talking with the cops or security, whatever. It's like, I think it's that man and that woman from the TV.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they're up, they're up.
They're up in the lab.
They're up on the floor.
Dyson has been able to use his access card to get into the lab.
Into part of the lab, the initial part of the lab. And then they're going to get further in. Because the silent alarm's been tripped, they can't get into everything now.
Shut off all access, so his card won't work. So then John remembers he's got his card that he used to break into the ATM earlier, and he's looking at it, he's like, I can get this.
So they're going around while they're collecting everything so they can destroy it, and he's just waiting while it's going through all the lines, different codes and numbers and permutations. Right. Meanwhile, right, you kind of cut back to the scene at Dyson's house,
and the T-1000 comes in.
And he sees everything. And
he sees the house all torn up. He
hears a radio call for all points important to like everybody that's possible to go to Cyberdyne. And so he hears it and he goes over. So thankfully he does not kill anybody.
Thankfully he does not kill Dyson's family.
Yes.
So
they're up there, and all of a sudden, they're collecting things, and John sees that all of a sudden the cavalry has shown up outside. Right? I guess that's after he and Dyson used the keys to go into the vault that has the arm and the chip, right?
And John is still you're still waiting on this. Yeah, that's what they're trying to get into. They're trying to get into the vault where the chip and the arm are, and the John's little hack is just taking way too long, and so Arnold is like, "Let me try," and he pulls out his grenade launcher. And he just blows the door up. But this, he's like, so he pulls his grenade launcher out, and then Sarah sees it, Dyson sees it, but John doesn't. So you just have Sarah yelling, "John, fire in the hole!" So John jumps behind cover. The T-800 just blows up the door and walks through, and all the halon, fire suppression stuff starts going off in the lab. And Sarah tries to run in there, and Dyson stops her. He's like, "No, it's the halon. It's going to kill you." Because basically, halon it goes down and it basically gets rid of all the oxygen.
Yeah.
To smother the fire. And so the T-800 walks in there. There's a case on the wall with a couple of gas masks in it. So he grabs those and takes it back out to Dyson and Sarah so that they can put those on, and they follow him in there. And so they're able to go in there, get the chip and the arm. They put him in John's backpack. And
see, that's different from the director's cut.
Okay.
The director's cut, it's John goes in with Arnold and gets them.
Huh.
So they switch those.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah. So, but there's other scenes within that, like they're destroying the computers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even before that, right? I love how like Arnold has an axe and he's hitting some of the stuff, and
that's the other thing. Like I love.
Dyson's like, "Can I?"
Yeah. That's right. And that's another thing. Like when the T-800 or the T-1000 showed up at the house, he's walking in the back, and there's a trash can outside with a bunch of files that are burning.
Yes, right.
And he walks past that into the house, and that's where he hears the call. But yeah, so at this point, the cops have shown up. And, the T-1000 pulls up in his police car.
Yep. And now they're getting ready to kind of finish everything off, and right, in terms of destroying everything, because they have explosives that's just set to destroy the entire floor, right? And the T-800 shows Dyson how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But John sees that the cavalry's arrived, right?
And
so
they start shooting in there.
T-800's going to give them some cover. He's going to because they're going to start shooting up at the floor.
So he goes and stands, because there's a big hole blown in the side of the wall now.
Yes.
And so he goes and just stands there with the minigun.
Yes. Remember the minigun? He has a minigun now.
And he just unloads on all these cops. But, he's just shooting them in the kneecaps. He's obeying John's orders not to kill anybody.
Yeah, it's very methodical. It's just all in the skin shot in the kneecaps.
So he's shooting
and
them.
He blows up. He's very careful about which cars he shoots and blows up. He's making sure no one's in them.
Yep. And then after the minigun is out of ammo, then you see him. He's scanning the crowd,
flying around, and the pilot's like, "He's got a damn minigun."
And I love after the minigun's out of ammo and he stops firing it, then he's like scanning the crowd, and all of a sudden this is casualties 0.0.
Could there be half a death? I don't know.
I don't know.
We never really find out.
No. I guess if he blew off somebody's foot, would that be a 0.1?
Yes, I don't know.
But anyway, so meanwhile, the T-1000, remember that helicopter that's flying around? He jumps up to the helicopter. And
he kind of breaks the glass.
Yeah, he headbutts the glass, and then sort of the windshield, and then just sort of oozes through there, through the hole that he made. And he ends up in the seat next to the pilot. And he just looks at the pilot. He's like, "Get out." The pilot just opens the door and jumps out.
Yep. He rolls out.
He could have killed him, but no. He told him to get out. No. So
he was actually kind of polite.
Yeah, he was actually kind of polite. He's just like, "Get out."
So he gets out, right? But now you got the SWAT team. They're coming up the stairs. Like they're getting into the lab themselves now.
Yeah.
Right. And they fire through. They get in there and they start firing. And unfortunately, they hit Dyson. He gets hit multiple times.
Yeah, he gets hit enough to where it's obvious he's not going to survive. And so, they set him up.
It gives him enough time. Like he's able to kind of get behind cover a little bit. And he's got the trigger.
Yeah, he's got the detonator. And
right.
He's holding on to that. So he's sitting down, like sitting up against the wall, and he's got the detonator.
And it gives them enough time to kind of start getting away.
He's like, you guys need to get out of here. I don't know how long I can hold this.
Right. And so they get into an elevator and they start going down.
And when they get to the lobby,
the rest of that SWAT team comes in.
They come out to the lobby and they see that it's full of SWAT team.
Well, they don't get down there yet, right? Because the SWAT team comes in as they're in the elevator. And that's when you had Dean Norris comes in. He's the one that approaches Dyson.
Yeah, that's right.
And he tells him, like, I don't know how long I can hold this. Right? And Dean Norris sees it and he realizes what it is. And he tells the rest of the team to move out. And you have, at this point now, like, Dyson's breathing kind of like, right? And you get this close up on his face, his eyes. You realize he's about to die.
Yeah. And so he's breathing, he's panting, and then just stops.
He stops. And
the detonator drops.
He loosens up, right? Because he's dead. Detonator drops.
His arm drops, and the detonator, goes off, and all the explosives they set just explode and just blow out the entire floor. Yeah.
And so they're John and Sarah and T-100, they're in the elevators going down, and it shakes them as the elevator's going down, right? And they get down to the floor, and they see there's all these...
Don't they know you're never supposed to take the elevator in a fire?
Anyway. They get down, and like you said, there's a whole...
Yeah, the lobby is
full of people still down in the lobby.
And so the internet's like, I'll handle this, and he grabs he walks up. One of the cops has a grenade launcher because Arnold doesn't have his anymore that he used on the door upstairs. So he grabs the grenade launcher from the cop. And this one's full of smoke grenades. So he just starts shooting these cops with smoke grenades.
As he walks, like, I'll handle this, and he looks at him like, he looks back at him, he's like, I'll be back.
Yeah, I'll be back.
And then he shoots a couple in the knee first.
Yeah,
just regular
in the knee,
the pistol.
Takes
and
the
then
launcher,
he starts shooting people
and then
with smoke grenades.
With smoke grenades. And once he has everybody down, without killing any of them, then he goes back and gets Sarah and John and leads them out.
And they lead, yeah. And what they get? So they get out, and thankfully there's a SWAT truck there.
Yeah, so they hop in the SWAT truck.
It's empty. They SWAT. They hop into it.
They hop into the paddy wagon, and they go driving off. And then the helicopter starts chasing them. And it's the T-1000 in the helicopter.
We forgot a scene, by the way, with the T-1000. So after the scene at the asylum, because there's a whole shootout there, right?
Yep.
There's cops there, and there's a motorcycle cop that comes up.
That's right.
And T-1000's like, hey, that's a nice bike.
That's right.
And that's the bike he uses to get the Dysons later.
Yes.
But now he ditched
he's not
the bike
in the car
for the
anymore.
helicopter.
He's on the bike. Yeah. So he took the bike there, and then ditched the bike for the helicopter. Because that's how he got onto the helicopter. His helicopter was flying, and he rode the bike up.
That's right. He rides the bike onto the helicopter.
Jumps onto the helicopter. Yeah. And then busts through the windshield.
Get out.
And then, so the helicopter, the T-1000 and the helicopter is chasing the SWAT van.
Yeah, they're going down the LA freeway. It's like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, whatever it is, right? It's not as busy as an LA freeway might be, right? There's still cars on there, and they're going through, and again, like it's a SWAT truck. I mean, it can drive, but it's not going to outrace a helicopter.
No. And so, they're shooting at each other,
and like they're in the back of there. Like, obviously it's armored because it's SWAT.
Yeah.
Right. But there's thankfully a bunch of vests back there.
Yeah.
Right. And so Sarah just throws them on top of John.
Yeah.
It's like, you stay low and under the vest.
Yes. So, eventually, the helicopter crashes. Because don't they try to take it? Don't they go through a tunnel or something? And the helicopter...
That sounds right.
Goes down and ends up crashing. Trying to get in the tunnel, just like the plane. And
I think it actually
Last
crashes
Crusade.
into the truck and then like...
Right. That's right. Yeah. Crashes into the back of the truck. And then... Yeah, because then the truck's not usable either.
It kind of spins the truck out.
Mm-hmm.
And it slides over. But
so
obviously the helicopter
not usable
can't survive it either.
So...
But it kind of blows up.
Yeah.
And there's some traffic on this road. There's a smaller pickup truck that looks like it's made some smaller local business. It's got like it's
got a camper shell on it that looks kind of like a house.
Yeah, its own kind of modified camper shell, right?
And so they go up to that, and they take it from the guy. They commandeer that.
It's like we need your truck.
And they sort of just leave the guy on the side of the road.
Yeah, he's just kind of standing there. He's like, okay. He's kind of confused. And the T-1000 goes up to the guy that's driving this liquid nitrogen truck.
And the guy that's driving the liquid nitrogen truck sees the explosion. Like, he sees it. He gets out. He's just trying to be helpful. He's like, do you need some help? And the T-1000 kills him.
He just kills him.
Just kills him.
Like,
he's just trying to help him.
Sugar kills a bunch of guys. Like that.
Just like sugar. Yeah.
So
then he takes the liquid nitrogen truck. And so he's chasing them. There's another semi chase.
First he drives straight by the guy that's in the little pickup truck. He jumps over the barrier to avoid getting run over by the other truck.
So we have another little chase.
He kind of crashes back through the rest of the SWAT truck, and he starts chasing them. And you look at the speedometer, and it's going like 60 miles an hour.
Here's the governor.
John's like, can't this go any faster? It's like, this is the vehicle's top speed.
This is the vehicle's top speed.
So finally, he just asks Sarah to take over, and he gets out and he starts shooting at the truck, right? And then he kind of pulls a Indy as he just kind of just walks over to the truck and stands on top of it, right? And just starts shooting into the windshield.
Yeah.
And again, that's a lot for the T-1000 to take all at one time.
Yeah. So, the truck jackknifes.
Oh, wait. Before we get to that, there's another point I want to bring up that I noticed the first time just watching it. So when the T-1000's in the helicopter, right? When he's reloading his gun while he's flying the helicopter, right? He's got the gun in one hand and he's reloading with his left hand, right? He gets another hand out.
Yeah, that's right.
The controls.
That's right. Yeah, he had formed another hand.
Yes, which is a really cool, small little detail that you may not necessarily see.
Yeah.
But it's a small little detail I think is really, really cool.
Yes. It's awesome. Yeah.
So, and you see this multiple times as he's within the helicopter. All right, back to the liquid nitrogen truck as it jackknifes.
Liquid nitrogen truck jackknifes. Arnold jumps off of it.
and they crashed into like the steel plant with molten steel.
Yeah.
Right.
So they crash into this steel refinery, and the liquid nitrogen truck, the jackknifes, and it crashes, and the tank just breaks open.
Right.
All this liquid nitrogen comes out.
Workers up there, they're seeing this truck crash through this. And like, this is a problem. Like, we gotta evacuate. And like they hit the warning sounds, and all the workers are leaving.
Yeah.
Right.
And so
Arnold kind of tumbles as it crashes, right?
Yeah. And then
he's watching it as it's coming through, and it basically just buckles. And like I said, it splits open. Liquid nitrogen is just pouring out everywhere.
And so the T-1000 is getting up to chase Arnold, and he just gets covered in liquid nitrogen. And you just see him start
in like his motorcycle helmet when he killed the motorcycle cop, right? He's got the sunglasses, right? And he's trying to walk, but now he's covered in liquid nitrogen.
He's walking, but you can see him freezing as he's walking, and he ends up like he tried to take a step and he breaks off at the ankle.
Yes.
And because he's frozen, and then he just stops moving, and Arnold takes out his gun and he shoots him, and he just,
I like how he kind of looks up at himself, like,
just
he sees
shatters.
the pieces of him breaking off, right? And he's looking up, and that's when Arnold now.
Yeah, Arnold, shoots him once, and the T-1000 just shatters.
Well, he has a one-liner.
Oh yeah, he does. Hasta la vista, baby. And then he shoots him. And he shatters.
And he breaks into a lot of pieces.
Yes.
Right? Now, here's the thing. They still take their sweet-ass time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, of course, he's broken into pieces.
They wait for the heat from the fire in the refinery.
But that's the thing. If they were not in the refinery, they could take some time.
Yeah. But
they could take some time to pick up all the little pieces and scatter them across the globe.
Yeah. But no, they don't. They just sit there and they watch. And then
they watch as he melts.
Yeah. As his liquid metal starts becoming
melts, you start seeing
again and
pull back together.
And then he starts to form again. And then they decide to go into the refinery.
That's when he's like, we don't have much time. We gotta go.
And so they go into the refinery. And now, as they're running through there, then you have the T-1000, putting himself back together. But finally, you see this a lot more in the extended cut than you do in the theatrical. But he's damaged.
Yes.
He starts to, as he's walking through the refinery, he starts to sort of blend with things around him.
He first notices he puts his hand on like a railing.
On a yellow and black railing.
His arm is now, the top, at least his forearm is yellow and black. Mm-hmm. Right? It's showing, it's taking on the environment.
Yeah. So, the freezing from the liquid nitrogen has damaged him in a way that he's never been damaged before in this movie. And so this still, they don't fully recognize this yet, but they're trying to escape. But he realizes it, and he's going after them. And I guess. Well, are they separated from the T-800? Well, not from the start. So at the beginning, they're all together because the T-800 is trying to lead them into an area that's just way too hot for them. So Sarah's like, "No, it's too hot. It's too hot. Let's go this way." And so then I think at that point, the T-800 leaves them so that he can go back and try to take care of the T-1000.
Right. That's right. And that's when he's They have a little fight, but then he's able to get it. T-800's arms able to get pinched under this gear,
Yeah.
so he can't escape yet. Like he's trapped, right? Because he's not liquid metal,
No.
so he can't just phase it out and collect himself back up like T-1000. So he's kind of stuck there, and that's when he goes after Sarah and John.
That's when the T-1000 goes after Sarah and John, and gets to Sarah first.
Right, and so she's able to lower John and have John escape a bit, right?
Uh-huh.
And then he corners Sarah, and again, like he did with the guard back at the hospital, puts up his finger.
Yep, but this time he stabs her in the shoulder.
That's right, puts her straight through the shoulder. She's like, ah!
And sort of pins her to the wall. Or pins her to the machine.
I know this must hurt a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and that's when he takes the other finger. Right, he's got the left finger. Well, he's got his left hand pinning his shoulder, and his right finger kind of goes up, and he got at the same point as putting it right in the middle.
Meanwhile,
of her
during
eyes.
this, it cuts back to the T-800, and he's grabbed this pole, this big bar, and he sticks it down into his arm and rips his arm off. From below the elbow, the part that's caught in the gear. Which then, I mean, there's another Terminator arm.
We gotta do something with that arm.
Yeah,
that's not addressed.
It's not addressed.
Anyway, we'll hit that soon.
Anyway, he's about to kill Sarah. The T-1000 is about to kill Sarah, and then all of a sudden,
he's telling her to like call for John, and she's not going to do it.
She's not going to do it. So he puts his other finger up to put it through her eye, like he did with the security guard at the hospital, and then this bar just cuts through his, like, from shoulder to hip.
Basically down to his hip, yes.
Yeah.
And so you have like this cross section of him, right? You got like the arm and like down the rib cage, down to the hip on the one side, and the right side's like a 80-20 split.
Yeah.
His torso.
And so he kind of steps back a little bit, and it's the T-800. And so so the T-1000, he sort of puts himself back together, but this time he's still got the pole inside him, so he just pulls it out the side.
They had to fight. Sarah's able to retreat, but they're fighting.
So the T-800 and the T-1000 are fighting, and now the T-1000's got the pole, got the bar, and he's able to
kind of smashing his head a bit,
pin
things. He's able to get him down and thrust.
The T-800 sees his grenade launcher sitting, just out of reach. So he's trying to reach it. And the T-1000 ends up just impaling him with this bar and pinning him to the floor beneath him. And
you see him
right down through his spine, and you see the eye, the red eye, just go black.
Yeah, and he just powers down.
Mm-hmm. And then the T-1000.
We cut to John.
Yeah, we cut to John.
Oh, this the T-1000 keeps walking. We cut to John.
Yeah, we cut to John, and then we hear Sarah calling for John.
John, help me.
And so
he
Sarah
loves his mama.
Comes walking over,
he's
and
just gonna,
limping.
He's already kind of forgotten that the T-1000 can replicate things.
Yeah.
So he's not probably being as careful as he should.
Yeah.
But he goes because he loves his mama.
Yeah. So here's so you see this more in the extended cut than you do in the theatrical. But you see when John realizes that it's not his mom.
Right. So
which again,
first it's like Sarah
they brought in Linda Hamilton's twin sister again.
Again, yes. So you have Sarah, at least what appears to be Sarah, limping towards John. Like she's been injured. Like she just had something impale her through the shoulder. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And another Sarah shows up behind her.
Yeah. Saying, John, that's not that's not me.
And he doesn't know what to believe. And then he looks down.
And he looks down and he sees
the one that's closer to him, the foot has blended
Yes.
into the grate.
Yeah, into
Right?
the grate
You can see it all,
below the feet.
all looks like it's one.
And that's how he knows that is the T-1000. So...
And so he ducks. And Sarah then starts shooting at the T-1000.
Yeah.
And she's getting multiple shots off at him.
Yeah.
Right? And like there's a ledge.
She's got a shotgun.
Is...
So yeah, she has picked up the shotgun. And so she's, shooting at him. And yeah, she's knocking him closer and closer to the ledge. That's just over a big vat of molten steel.
Yeah.
And
he gets blown back. And
then she runs out of ammo.
But then she runs out. And then he looks back, and then he
during all this,
stands back up.
It has cut back to the T-800, and his eye is red again.
Well, but then he forms back. He looks at Sarah, and he just kind of gives a little finger wag at her. And then he cut back to the T-800.
And yeah, it's
cut back to him.
Yeah.
His eye has
red again. He's powered back up, and he grabs that. He pulls the pole out, and he grabs the grenade launcher, and then then we're back to Sarah.
I think that's the point then where the T-1000 collects back and finger wags.
Yeah, finger wags,
and he's gonna start getting close. He starts getting closer to them again, but then you get the music. It swells up. And there's some pulley system. I don't know what's supposed to be carrying or pulling up and down. But a T-800's on it.
Yep. T-800's on it, and he's got that grenade launcher just pointed forward, and he comes up, and Sarah gets out of the way. He fires her grenade right into the center of the T-1000, and it explodes. And here's another nice little... I'm wondering if this was a nod to The Thing. Because another John Carpenter... Or I guess that's a John Carpenter movie.
We have not done a John Carpenter in the X. I know we have a YouTube fan that is a John Carpenter fan. We will be doing some
John Carpenter movies in the future, folks.
So...
But yeah. So I'm wondering if this is a nod to John Carpenter's The Thing. Because... when that grenade round goes off, the T-1000 resembles The Thing.
Yeah, that's a good point. It does.
So I'm wondering if that was just because every once in a while, a director will give a little nod to a fellow director in their movies.
Well, so it makes sense in terms of how the T-1000 will replicate things, just like The Thing will replicate things.
Yep.
So that's a good point. I had never thought about that.
So, so that, the force of that happening was enough to knock the T-1000 back over the ledge, and he falls into the vat of molten steel. And
the steel is at way too hot of a temperature for the T-1000 to do anything.
So I love how it starts freaking out, writhing, and
you start seeing the different forms it's taken.
Yeah.
Again, it's like The Thing, right? It can take different forms. And then you can tell, I like how as it's going down, right? It gets down to the actual molten steel. Like it's trying to it turns itself almost like inside out. Like you just get the space, and then it kind of comes up, and then it just melts away.
Yep. Melts away in the steel. And now the T-1000 is dead. And so they all, take a minute.
They look at it, it's like is it dead? It's like terminate it.
It's terminated. And then so John throws the arm from the first Terminator in there into the steel.
And then
800
tells him
reaches into his pocket, pulls out the chip, tosses that in there.
But they don't throw the other arm in.
They don't go back and get the other arm from the gear. They just leave it there. I'm wondering if it's because if the whole thing about it was the combination of the arm and the chip.
Maybe. Or was it their way of leaving it open?
Maybe. And then
I don't know.
Then, Sarah and John are like, great, let's go.
Like there's one more chip.
Let's go. And Arnold's like, no, there's still one more chip. And
he points at
his head. And John's like, no, you're my best friend.
And Sarah realizes that has to be done.
Mm-hmm. Sarah
she understands
it has to be done. And
so like, this is the only way, John. This has to happen.
There's a chain on a pulley system right next to where they are at the ledge, and so the T-800 grabs the controls for it and hands it to Sarah.
So I can't self-terminate.
She's like, yeah, I can't self-terminate. You have to lower me in the steel. And then he goes to John. He's like, I know now why you cry.
John's bawling.
And so,
no wonder he's so fucked up in Rise of the Machines.
Yeah. So the Terminator grabs the chain, steps out on it, pushes out away from the ledge.
Yep.
And then,
which is interesting. Like I get. Okay, so I kind of wonder, like, if that action in of itself, pushing away from the ledge, like, where do you draw the line about self-termination?
So, I was thinking about this. So, at that point, he's just swinging on a chain. He's not necessarily going out there to get lowered into the steel.
He'd be auditioning for Tarzan.
He could be. He's just grabbing the chain and swinging out there. He's not doing anything himself to self-terminate. The termination comes when Sarah, who's now holding the controls, lowers the chain.
Yeah.
But at this point, the Terminator, he's just swinging around, having fun, playing Tarzan.
What she does once he does that is entirely up to her.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to hit that button, but she does. So he lowers.
He real slowly lowers down into the steel. We see his foot go in there, and his pants catch on fire, and his clothes are burning as he's getting lowered deeper and deeper, and his arm he's holding up above his head. As he gets lowered down in there, his head goes under, and it's just going up to his arm, and he lets go of the chain, and before his hand goes down, he forms his hand into a thumbs up.
Couldn't he written a letter? Like, all right, you know what? I'll self-terminate. Let's write a letter first.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of this anyway.
Except if he had written a letter, then somebody could have gotten hold of it. Cyberdyne could have gotten hold of it and used it to create Skynet and all this.
So John's sad. At least this is his mother to help comfort him.
Yep.
And we kind of cut back, and it's one last narration from Sarah as they're driving off down the highway. So even if a machine can find a way to love, maybe we can too. So I can't remember the exact line, but
maybe
something to that effect. Right, and you're just gonna fade out with the highway with the Terminator soundtrack,
with the music coming up, and yep.
Right, and that's how it wraps up. It's the end of T2.
Yep,
and it's a great ride.
Yes, it is. I love this movie. I've been watching it since I was 7 years old.
Daddy, can I have a Terminator?
It's crazy because, like, yeah, my dad let me watch it when I was 7, but then he let me keep watching it throughout my childhood.
But, Face Off, though, or Con Air.
Con Air.
Sorry, Con Air.
Yeah.
Sorry, no. Can't watch John Malkovich.
Maybe it's because Con Air is just too much mullet.
Yeah, there was only a brief 5 minutes of mullet.
Yeah.
And there was a kid wearing a mullet.
Yeah.
It wasn't Nicolas Cage wearing a mullet.
Blowing in the wind.
Yes. For no reason whatsoever.
Inside.
Inside, yes. Yes, inside. Anyway, it's still a classic. We didn't even mention this earlier, right? So we mentioned Alien earlier, and Terminator, but there's a good reason a lot of people put this as the greatest sequel ever made.
Yeah.
It goes with Aliens and Godfather 2, maybe Spider-Man 2, Speed 2 Cruise Control.
Oh, yeah. Expendables 4.
3 men and a little lady.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's right there. That's a sweet spot. Look Who's Talking Now. I'm not talking about Look Who's Talking 2 with the talking toilet. No. Look Who's Talking Now.
With the dogs that talk.
No. Those ones are not even close. But yeah, this one's up there. But, whether you want like this over Terminator over this, that's fine. You can take either. I don't care. Both are great movies.
Yeah. Yeah, that's T2. Terminator 2 Judgment Day. But yeah, if you have not seen this one, I highly recommend watching it.
Yes. Highly.
It's even one you can watch without having seen the first one.
That's a very good point.
They do enough. They do enough describing of the first one, enough explanation of what happened in the first one, to where you can get by watching this one without seeing the first one. It's better if you watch the first one first.
Yes, I agree. But yeah, I didn't really think about that. But yeah, that's a very, very good point.
But yeah. Anything that we missed?
I think that's it.
All right. Well, as always, if you enjoyed what you are listening to, then check us out on social media. We are on Facebook and Instagram and Threads. There's Robbie and Tony's Cinematic Adventure. The and is spelled out, A-N-D. It's not an ampersand like it is the name of the podcast. And then we are also on X or Twitter. There's R&T Cinematic. And if you want to check out some of our movie reviews, some movies we've done on the podcast, and we haven't done, some we will do, some we won't do. And you can check out our Letterboxd. And that is Cine Adventure or Cine Adventure, C-I-N-E Adventure. So yeah, check that out. And you can also send us an email. Let us know what you thought of Terminator 2. Do you think we should go on with the other Terminator movies at some point?
Yeah.
Do you prefer this one to the first one? Do you prefer the first one to this one? Do you hate both? What do you think? You can send us an email at robandtonyscinematicadventure@gmail.com. Once again, the and is spelled out. It's not an ampersand like it is in the podcast. But yeah, if you enjoy what you're listening to, go to our social media, give us a like and a follow. Go to your favorite podcasting app, wherever you're listening to us. Subscribe and give us a good rating, a good review. That's how we move up in the standings and the rankings and the search and the recommendations, all that stuff. And, tell your friends about us. We want to be able to reach more ears. We want to be able to find more people that enjoy listening to us ramble on about these movies that we love. And that said, next time we got a fun one. We're going to continue.
We do have a fun one.
We've got just a few movies left in our summer blockbuster series.
Yeah, we're really winding down, aren't we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've got, I think, 3 left.
Yes.
In the series. So the next one, we are going to go a little bit more to the thriller side, the drama thriller side.
Yes.
Of things. And we are going to be talking about another movie that stars the person who we have probably done more movies, like more of this person's movies than any other on this podcast.
This might be his 10th movie that we've done.
Might be. But that, of course, is Harrison Ford. And yeah, completely unintentionally doing so many movies of his. It's just we did we did the Star Wars trilogy, then we did all 5 of the Indiana Jones, and then
into the biggest movie series of all time.
Yeah. So just happened to be that he's the one that we've done the most, but that's all right.
And
he's a great actor.
Happened
We're
to have
both
to
huge
try
fans
to
of his.
from Tommy Lee Jones.
Yep. So yes, that's right. We are going to be talking about The Fugitive next time. So
also starring Joey Pants.
Yes. Also starring Joey Pants. Joe Pantoliano. Yeah. So join us next time for The Fugitive.